A single leg of ham worth over $4,000? Not just any pig can make that happen, unless it's the Iberico pig, a jet black breed hailed as the living luxury brand of the culinary world. But have you ever wondered how more than 1.2 million Iberico pigs are raised and processed each year? From eco-villas nestled in oak forests, these black pigs are free-range raised under a carefully controlled diet until they reach peak condition for harvest. The magic begins when they pass through the factory gates, where cutting-edge technology meets time-honored craftsmanship to create a true symphony of flavors, from richly seasoned chorizo sausage to meticulous care of experienced farmers. Over time, these robust black pigs have become four-legged money machines, playing a starring role in a luxury food industry worth over $3 billion annually. A single premium leg of jamón ibérico can sell for thousands of dollars, depending on the pig's purity, exclusive acorn diet, and years-long curing process. So if the culinary world had its own designer labels, would jamón ibérico be the Chanel, Gucci, or Hermes of food? It all begins in oak-filled pastures, where nature, humans, and time come together to raise the finest Iberico pigs, the very soul of this legendary delicacy. Here, the journey of an Iberico pig begins even before birth. During this stage, they are fed a high-protein, energy-rich diet to ensure rapid and efficient weight gain. As their bodies begin to grow stronger, they are moved outdoors, where they start to get acquainted with nature. In these open areas, they continue to receive industrial feed, but also munch on any available vegetables, from banana stems and sweet potatoes to water spinach. True to the phrase, eating like a pig, they devour anything edible without the slightest fuss. With their bellies full, the pigs roll around in the dirt, soak in muddy puddles, and doze under the afternoon sun, as if indulging in a natural spa day right in the heart of the oak forest. Once they're big enough, the pigs graduate from the barns and step into a life of freedom among the oak forests, a crucial phase that defines the signature richness and flavor of jamón ibérico. Their main food source at this stage is acorns, but there's an interesting detail. Acorns grow on branches 4 to 6 meters high. Since pigs can't climb trees, how do they get them? Farmers use long sticks to knock the acorns down, while the pigs eagerly wait below, ready to enjoy the acorn rain as it falls. But eating isn't all they do. The pigs must keep moving as they forage, turning mealtime into a natural daily workout. This constant activity strengthens their legs and muscles, creating firm, flavorful meat with beautiful marbled fat, the hallmark of jamón ibérico's worldwide reputation. After around 14 to 18 months, once the pigs reach their ideal condition, they are taken into processing to be turned into premium products, the most renowned of which is jamón ibérico. On the same day, they are transported to processing facilities where every step is carried out swiftly, yet with meticulous care and precision. The hind legs, the primary cut used for jamón, are carefully trimmed, with excess fat and skin removed in preparation for the salting stage. Other parts, such as the front shoulder, paleta, loin, and tenderloin, are deboned and separated for different uses, including making sauces and cured meats. Once sorted, the lean cuts are hung on large trays and moved to the sausage processing area. When made from Iberico pork, these sausages are known as chorizo ibérico, a traditional Spanish delicacy. In the production process of chorizo ibérico, the pork is first finely ground using high-capacity industrial machines capable of processing hundreds of kilograms per hour. The evenly shredded meat is then transported along a conveyor belt and arranged into piles, ready for the seasoning stage. Spices such as salt, paprika, and garlic are sprinkled directly onto each batch of meat, which is then transferred to a large industrial mixer with rotating blades. This mixing process ensures a uniform, flavorful blend where all ingredients are evenly incorporated. Next, the seasoned meat is moved to a specialized mixer, where it is combined with Iberico pork fat and traditional spices, creating a rich, juicy texture and the signature bold flavor. The mixture is continuously blended for 1 to 2 hours until it reaches the perfect level of smoothness, elasticity, and consistency, ready for casing. Cleaned pork casings are attached to an automatic stuffing machine, where the meat mixture is pumped in at a consistent pressure, forming chorizo links with uniform length and diameter. Once stuffed, the sausages are hung on trays and moved into fermentation and curing chambers, where the temperature is maintained between 12 and 16 degrees for a period of 4 to 12 weeks. During this stage, the sausages develop their signature aroma could affect the final quality. After this initial trimming, each leg is tagged with a unique barcode, allowing for full traceability and quality assurance throughout the entire production process. After preliminary processing, the pork legs are transferred to the salting area. Here, pure sea salt is evenly applied to each leg, either through an automated system or by hand. With machines, the salt is distributed with precision. In traditional methods, skilled artisans meticulously rub the salt by hand, adjusting to the unique shape of each leg. Regardless of the method used, the goal remains the same: for the salt to penetrate deeply, evenly, and appropriately, forming the foundation for the harmonious, rich flavor of jamón ibérico. Once the hams have been coated with salt, they are moved into a specialized pressing system equipped with pressure rollers. Inside the machine, each ham is gently compressed between 2 conveyor belts and passed through a series of rollers, ensuring even pressure across the entire surface. This step helps the salt penetrate deeper into the layers of meat while maintaining the ham's uniform shape and structure. Next, the hams are automatically transferred to the salting chamber, a cold room maintained at temperatures between allows the salt to slowly and evenly diffuse into the meat, gradually drawing out moisture without damaging the protein structure, laying a solid foundation for the curing stages that follow. The salting process typically lasts between 1 and 2 weeks, depending on the weight of each ham, and is carefully managed to preserve the integrity of the meat. Once completed, the Iberico hams move on to the cleaning stage, in preparation for the final curing phase. The hams are hung using ropes and moved via an automated conveyor system to the brushing station, where soft rollers gently remove any excess salt. Next, the hams are rinsed with cold water to wash away any remaining salt and thoroughly clean the surface. After rinsing, the hams are placed into a specialized pressing machine for shaping. This equipment uses durable plastic molds to gently compress the meat, enhancing its structure and evenly distributing the fat and lean muscle. Next, a skilled artisan lightly taps each ham's surface, a traditional technique used to detect internal voids or defects before moving on to the drying phase. The hams are then placed on trays and moved into enclosed chambers, marking the start of the drying phase, an essential step that determines both texture and flavor. During the first 90 days, the hams are kept in rooms with controlled temperature and humidity, maintained at around 3 degrees Celsius and 90% humidity. This environment allows the meat to dry gradually without losing moisture too quickly, helping preserve its natural tenderness and elasticity. This gradual transformation also helps form a natural outer crust, while the meat inside slowly develops a richer umami flavor. After 90 days, the hams are moved to the upper floors, areas with better air circulation and more stable temperatures. Here, they begin to interact with the outside environment in a carefully controlled manner. Artisan workers open windows and ventilation shutters in the attic chambers to allow sunlight and natural breezes to enter. The amount of light and airflow is adjusted throughout the day to prevent the hams from drying too quickly or unevenly. The goal of this stage is to allow sunlight and fresh air to gently complete the drying process, enhancing the signature aroma and texture, firm on the outside yet tender and flavorful within. After the natural drying process is complete, the ham is lowered and prepared for the next important step, applying fat. A thin layer of fat, usually refined pork fat or extra, is evenly spread over the entire surface of the ham, with special attention given to the muscle areas. This creates a protective barrier that prevents air and moisture from escaping too quickly, avoiding excessive drying or cracking during the extended curing period. This layer of fat not only helps retain moisture, but also maintains the ham's tenderness and distinctive flavor, while adding an appealing glossy finish to the product. Thanks to this step, the ham can continue the curing and fermentation process perfectly, developing rich aromas and a firm yet tender texture, resulting in an exceptional eating experience when fully matured. In the extended curing phase, after being coated with protective fat, the Iberico hams are placed into curing cellars, dark, quiet spaces with strictly controlled conditions, ideal for continuing the natural fermentation process that lasts from 2 to 3 years. Throughout this period, the ambient temperature gradually rises up to 25 degrees Celsius, allowing moisture in the meat to evaporate slowly. On average, each ham loses about 1 kilogram in weight. Meanwhile, natural enzymes quietly break down proteins and fats into aromatic compounds, creating the distinctive, intoxicating aroma of jamón ibérico. If you ever notice white or green mold on the surface of these hams, don't worry. This is a completely natural and harmless phenomenon. In fact, it plays a crucial role in regulating humidity and developing the flavor. As the curing process approaches 2 years, expert tasters perform a sensory evaluation using a traditional technique known as kala. A small probe made from horsebone is inserted into several points on the ham. The artisan then smells the aromas released to determine whether the ham has reached optimal maturity. At the same time, other criteria such as the firmness of the meat, fat distribution, and overall color are also assessed. Only the hams that meet all these strict standards are certified as premium quality jamón. Each ham that meets the quality standards after the long curing process is taken down from the cellar and moved to the final processing area, where every finishing step is carried out with care and precision. Here, each ham is branded with a traditional hot iron stamp, a symbol that clearly certifies its origin and premium quality. This mark holds legal value, but more importantly, it stands as undeniable proof of the years of patience, dedication, and expert craftsmanship behind each piece. After branding, every ham is clearly labeled with important details, including product type, year of production, region of origin, and relevant certifications. This final step ensures transparency, traceability, and consumer trust. Finally, the ham is wrapped in traditional wax paper or vacuum sealed using modern technology to optimally preserve its rich flavor and perfect texture throughout transportation and storage, ready to reach the customer at its absolute best. In addition to whole legs, jamón ibérico is also sold in smaller blocks or thin slices for consumer convenience. When preparing it for slicing, the outer layer of skin is first removed to expose the meat and eliminate any residual salt or impurities on the surface. The bone is then carefully extracted, either by hand or using specialized machinery, to ensure the meat structure remains intact and undamaged. Once deboned, the ham is pressed into a rectangular shape for easier packaging, and finally vacuum sealed to preserve its freshness and optimal quality. For sliced versions, modern cutting machines shave the ham into ultra-thin slices, almost translucent, while maintaining both texture and flavor. These slices are then transported by conveyor belt to an automated packing area, where the entire process is carried out quickly and with high precision. The entire operation takes place in a strictly controlled environment, with hygiene and temperature closely monitored to ensure every slice meets the highest quality standards. Thanks to this process, consumers can enjoy the distinctive taste of jamón ibérico in a convenient format, without sacrificing the essence of tradition. The most authentic way to enjoy jamón ibérico is by serving it in thin, even slices, arranged in a circular flower shape or layered neatly, garnished with a sprig of rosemary or a few olives to create a luxurious and irresistible dish. And that is the well-deserved conclusion to the journey. From a humble black Iberian pig to exquisite slices of jamón ibérico, the result of time, craftsmanship, and nature in perfect harmony. And if you're yearning to discover things that are both strange and irresistibly captivating, then follow me on a new journey to the desert land, where hidden treasures and unexpected wonders await to be revealed.
Spring arrives on the endless grasslands, and after harvest, now comes the defining moment, the wool transformation, where skilled hands and modern technology work in perfect harmony. Sheep are sheared using specialized electric clippers with razor-sharp blades and high-powered motors, capable of handling around 25 sheep per hour. This process requires precision and expertise, as the shearer must stretch out the wool and move the clippers smoothly along the sheep's body and legs, ensuring clean cuts without harming the animal. Once the soft fleece is removed, it undergoes an initial sorting process. The finest wool is carefully packed into large bales, then securely sealed to protect it from dirt and moisture, preserving its quality. From here, these tightly bundled wool bales are loaded onto specialized transport trucks or shipping containers, beginning their journey to textile factories. There, they will be processed into high-quality wool fibers that fuel the global fashion industry. When wool bales arrive at the factory, they undergo a meticulous sorting process to ensure that each fiber is utilized appropriately. Skilled workers carefully evaluate the wool based on fineness, length, crimp, color, and cleanliness. The finest and softest wool, typically sourced from the back and sides of the sheep, holds the highest value, while wool from the legs and belly is of lower quality. After sorting, the wool is transferred to large washing and scouring tanks. High-capacity machines use hot water combined with special detergents to remove impurities such as grease, dirt, and dust. The wool is first soaked in a scouring solution and then thoroughly rinsed to eliminate any remaining residues. It is then passed through a centrifugal extractor to remove excess moisture. This step accelerates the drying process while preserving the natural structure of the fibers, preventing tangling or damage. Once cleaned, the wool is placed into specialized drying machines that maintain a controlled temperature between 50 and 70 degrees Celsius. This process effectively removes moisture without compromising fiber integrity. The drying phase typically lasts between 4 to 6 hours. After drying, the wool is processed through an opening machine, which fluffs and softens the fibers, preparing them for the next stage. The carding process is crucial for straightening and untangling the fibers. During the initial carding phase, the wool is spread out and passed through large rotating drums that separate individual fibers while removing any remaining impurities. This process forms a thin, continuous strand of wool known as sliver, which is prepared for the next stage. For high-quality wool, an additional combing process is performed to remove short fibers, producing a smoother, more uniform texture. The final product from this stage, known as top wool, consists of long, fine fibers that meet the highest standards for spinning. After carding, the wool is fed into spinning machines, where thousands of fibers are twisted together simultaneously to create yarn. These high-capacity machines can produce between 100 and 200 kilograms of yarn per day. During this process, the tension and thickness of the yarn are carefully adjusted to ensure uniform quality and consistency. Once spun into yarn, the wool can be processed into textiles through two primary methods: weaving or knitting. In weaving, the yarn is fed into modern weaving machines, where it is interlaced in an automated process to form soft yet durable fabric. These machines can produce several meters to dozens of meters of fabric per minute. Alternatively, knitting can be performed by machines or by hand to create products such as sweaters, hats, and socks. This method offers versatility in design and texture, producing high-quality woolen garments that are warm and comfortable. But the mission of these gentle creatures of the pasture does not end here. Inside modern lamb processing plants, advanced machinery works in perfect harmony with skilled workers to produce premium lamb cuts, delivering exquisite flavors to connoisseurs around the world. Skilled workers use sharp knives to carefully separate the hide in difficult areas such as the legs. Automated cutting systems ensure uniformity and maintain quality across all portions. Afterward, the lamb cuts move to the packaging section, where each piece is securely sealed in protective packaging to maintain optimal freshness. But did you know that before becoming high-quality wool and premium lamb cuts, these sheep embark on an incredible journey across the oceans to fulfill their new mission? At the farms, before embarking on their long voyage, the sheep undergo health monitoring, weight checks, and physical condition assessments. This ensures they are in peak condition, adapting well to new environments while maintaining the highest standards of wool and meat quality. On the day of departure, the sheep are guided through designated corridors onto specialized multi-tiered livestock transport trucks, an important innovation in modern livestock transportation. These trucks are designed to maximize space efficiency while ensuring the safety and well-being of the animals throughout the journey. Each truck consists of 2 to 4 tiers, with each tier capable of holding up to 150 sheep, bringing the total load to over 20 tons per trip. Metal mesh partitions separate compartments to minimize sudden movements and reduce stress among the sheep. The flooring is designed with an anti-slip surface, complete with ventilation systems, and some trucks even feature automatic water supply systems to ensure the sheep remain hydrated during transit. Before departure, absorbent bedding materials such as sawdust, dry straw, or sand are spread across the floors to absorb waste, maintaining cleanliness and reducing the risk of slipping. On long journeys, these bedding materials are periodically replaced to ensure hygiene, keeping the sheep in optimal health before they board the ship. Once all preparations are complete, these massive transport trucks set off toward the port, where the sheep's ocean voyage truly begins. At the port, the sheep are guided onto the ship via a specially designed ramp system that facilitates smooth and safe boarding. These enormous livestock transport vessels feature 5 to 7 decks with a total capacity of up to 70,000 sheep per voyage. Over the course of their journey, the ship consumes approximately 21,000 gallons of water daily, equivalent to the water usage of 120 American households. An automated misting system is activated to maintain an optimal temperature range of 68 degrees Fahrenheit to 73 degrees Fahrenheit, preventing heat stress among the sheep. Additionally, a team of onboard veterinarians constantly monitors their health. If signs of stress, dehydration, or illness are detected, affected sheep are moved to designated care areas for recovery before continuing their journey. Every day, the flock consumes over 12 tons of feed, enough to fill a heavy-duty truck. The feed is formulated to strict standards, ensuring the sheep remain in peak condition upon arrival at their destination. When the ship docks at its final destination, the sheep are unloaded under strict supervision to ensure their safety and well-being. A specialized ramp system allows for smooth disembarkation, minimizing the risk of injury or stress after their long journey. From the vast pastures of Australia, these sheep travel across oceans to new lands, continuing their mission of providing high-quality wool and premium meat to meet the demands of global industries and consumers.
The Mangalitsa pig is the only breed in the world with a soft, curly coat like that of a sheep. It was created by Archduke Joseph of Hungary through crossbreeding Serbian pigs with local wild boars. Mangalitsa pigs are a hardy, fat-rich breed, with body fat accounting for up to 70% of their weight. In the 1950s, they were considered a European luxury, sought after by the elite during an era when lard still reigned on dining tables. However, with the advent of vegetable oils and refrigerators, their glory faded, and by 1991, fewer than 200 individuals remained in all of Hungary. Seemingly on the brink of extinction, in 2016, a Spanish company unexpectedly launched a mission to revive the Mangalitsa breed, bringing this Hungarian treasure back to the world. Since then, these unique curly-haired pigs have rapidly spread across Hungary, Austria, France, Canada, and the United States. In Hungary alone, there are now over 7,000 sows, producing around 60,000 piglets annually. Unlike industrial pig breeds, Mangalitsas are adept foragers and perfectly suited to free-range farming systems. Now, let's return to the tranquil farms where the journey of the curly-haired Mangalitsa begins. There, herds of pigs grow up at a slow and steady pace, cared for with knowledge and dedication, so that every glistening layer of fat is nurtured by both time and human hands. Unlike industrial pig breeds, Mangalitsas possess an extraordinary ability to forage on their own, making them ideal for outdoor free-range farming. Although some confined farming operations still exist, most breeders prioritize allowing the pigs to roam freely within fenced pastures, where the environment is more natural and less stressful. Thanks to their high economic value, the herds receive meticulous care. Barns are kept impeccably clean, each animal is tagged for identification, and their health is monitored through detailed records to ensure they always remain in optimal condition. On intensive farming operations, the diet of Mangalitsa pigs is strictly controlled to ensure their meat consistently reaches top-tier quality. They are fed a nutrient-rich blend of grains, combined with wild herbs harvested from pastures, creating a ration that balances energy with natural micronutrients. On average, each pig consumes between 2.5 and 3 kilograms of feed per day, depending on its stage of development. And every change in the diet is carefully monitored to preserve the pure, consistent flavor of Mangalitsa meat. Beyond that, these special pigs are also released into expansive grasslands to freely forage, digging for roots, tender grasses, and wild herbs. This natural foraging instinct helps strengthen their immune systems, maintain optimal physical condition, and enrich the flavor of the meat. Thanks to their diverse diet and nature-friendly upbringing, Mangalitsa pork boasts silky fat marbling, richly succulent ribs, and a deep, distinctive flavor that captivates culinary enthusiasts worldwide. In addition, Mangalitsas frequently wallow in mud, a natural instinct that helps cool their bodies and protects their skin from insects and parasites. This nature-oriented lifestyle not only enhances their overall health, but also imparts a rich, wild flavor to the meat that is nearly impossible to replicate. Thanks to this close connection with nature, the reproductive and developmental processes of Mangalitsa pigs are also optimized under entirely natural conditions. Female Mangalitsas reach breeding age between 8 and 10 months old, and after successful mating, they carry their pregnancies for about 115 days before giving birth to their first litter, typically consisting of 6 to 10 piglets depending on the sow's condition. When born, the piglets are covered with a soft, downy coat, and within just a few weeks, they begin to grow the distinctive curly hair that defines this rare breed. Farms maintain a calm and safe environment with a balanced diet and ample resting space, ensuring each piglet starts life healthy, protected, and able to develop naturally. By the 6th week after birth, when the Mangalitsa piglets are strong enough to be weaned, an important process begins on the farm: selection and classification. Each individual is carefully evaluated based on the thickness of its subcutaneous fat layer, motor reflexes, and ability to assimilate feed. Those with strong bone structure, steady growth rates, and exceptional feed conversion efficiency are kept to enter a premium fattening cycle, becoming elite members of the selectively bred Mangalitsa group. The remainder may be directed toward breeding purposes or marketing. After passing the rigorous selection process, the qualified Mangalitsa pigs are transferred to specialized processing facilities, where every step is carried out with absolute precision. First, their thick, wool-like curly coats are treated using a dedicated system that employs large amounts of water to thoroughly clean while preserving the skin. Next, the hair is removed using high-pressure technology, followed by a special heat chamber to handle any remaining fine hairs. Finally, the meat is cut and stored in deep cold storage, ready for the subsequent processing stages while preserving the distinctive flavor of Mangalitsa. After their resting period in cold storage, Mangalitsa pork is transferred to the pre-processing area, where modern technology combines with the skilled hands of experts. On automated cutting lines, each piece of meat is divided into separate portions with absolute precision. The pork legs are then brought to the manual cutting station, where artisans meticulously trim away excess fat and skin, maintaining the perfect proportions. Every step is carried out slowly to allow the salt to penetrate evenly while preserving the traditional shape. Before entering the long curing and preservation process, each ham is assigned its own unique barcode, serving as an identification code for the high-quality aging process. Once carefully trimmed and labeled, the Mangalitsa hams move on to one of the most crucial stages: salting. In dark, cold, and silent rooms where temperature and humidity are strictly controlled, each ham is completely covered with pure sea salt. They rest quietly, as if slipping into a deep sleep, while the salt slowly penetrates every fiber of the meat, removing moisture and shaping its unique, unmistakable flavor. On average, each Mangalitsa yields 2 hams weighing 8 to 12 kilograms, with the salting period lasting from 1 to 2 weeks, depending on size. This is not only a preservation step, but also the moment when flavor is born, marking the beginning of the transformation of pork into a true delicacy. After the salting process is complete, the Mangalitsa hams are carefully hung and placed into specialized curing chambers, where nature and time quietly begin their work. During the first 90 days, the cool and humid environment allows the outer layer to gradually firm up, while the meat inside concentrates, becoming tender, sweet, and rich in flavor. The entire process takes place completely naturally, without mechanical intervention, but is meticulously overseen by master ham artisans. Each day, they fine-tune the light and airflow using intuition and experience, creating a refined, deep, and enduring aroma that modern technology can hardly replicate. Afterward, each Mangalitsa ham is coated with a thin layer of fat, usually taken from the same pig, to protect the meat's surface from drying out too quickly, and to shield it from light and air exposure. Once fully covered with fat, the hams are moved into dedicated aging cellars, where temperature, humidity, and airflow are strictly controlled. Over the course of 24 to 36 months, natural enzymes slowly break down proteins and fats, concentrating the flavor while making the meat tender and richly aromatic. During this process, the ham loses 30 to 40% of its weight, but gains significantly in value. To check quality, skilled artisans use a slender horsebone needle, inserting it into 4 different spots to assess the aroma, ensuring the product meets standards before moving on to the final stage. When the meat reaches its optimal maturity, it is brought into the light to begin the final stage, finishing and packaging. Skilled artisans use sharp knives to remove the bones, separating each joint with precision to preserve the structure of the meat. The ham is then halved, with excess fat and muscle, carefully trimmed to enhance its appearance and make it easier to consume. Finally, the ham is vacuum-packed with care, ready to reach even the most discerning consumers. In addition to whole hams, a portion of Mangalitsa ham is pressed and sliced into paper-thin pieces, smooth, uniform, and almost translucent. The entire process is carried out by an automated system with a capacity of thousands of packs per hour. The slices are carefully sealed in vacuum-packed plastic bags to preserve their flavor and texture, then placed into sturdy cardboard boxes, ready to be delivered to supermarkets, restaurants, or the tables of the most demanding customers. Not all Mangalitsa meat is made into jamon. The remaining cuts, such as loin, shoulder meat, or internal fat, which might seem like mere byproducts, are in fact the key ingredients for creating another culinary gem, salami. And while jamon symbolizes time and patience, salami showcases craftsmanship, character, and the unique identity of each processing workshop. Mangalitsa lean meat is hand-cut into small pieces and then placed into a slow-speed grinder, not to pulverize it, but to create even strands, preserving its natural texture and flavor. The ivory white fat, rich in unsaturated fatty acids, is cut into cubes so that when finished, each slice of salami resembles an intricate mosaic, with meat and fat perfectly interwoven. After grinding, the meat mixture is combined with salt, black pepper, white wine, garlic, fennel, or sweet paprika, depending on regional styles. Each facility has its own secret recipe. Some add paprika, others let the meat rest. Even when machines are used, artisans still rely on smell, color, and consistency to maintain control. The cleaned small intestines are thoroughly rinsed, softened in a mild salt brine, and then attached to a hydraulic stuffing machine. The meat mixture is evenly pumped into the casings, forming individual salami links with precisely calculated size and density, not too tight to avoid splitting the casing, and not too loose to prevent air pockets from forming during curing. Each salami is then hand-tied with string, a traditional practice preserved like a ritual, before being hung on wooden racks, ready to begin its fermentation journey. The curing room is designed as a unique microclimate, maintained at 12 to 16 degrees with 70 to 80% humidity. Over the course of 3 to 6 weeks, lactic acid bacteria quietly transform the raw meat into salami with a subtle tang, deeper color, and rich aroma. The fine white mold that forms on the outside is not a sign of spoilage, but a protective layer that retains moisture and regulates oxygen. Each salami is rotated periodically, almost as if gently tended to, until it achieves a firm yet springy texture and an enticing fragrance. When the salami reaches its ideal maturity, it is taken down, and the white mold on the surface is wiped clean. Some are sliced into thin rounds and vacuum-packed. Others are kept whole, wrapped in wax paper or delicate silk, like a gift. Each slice of salami, with its interwoven reddish-brown meat, ivory fat, and deep spicy aroma, is a small cut that tells an entire story. Emerging thousands of years ago, the Jacob sheep is believed to have been mentioned in the Bible, making it one of the few sheep breeds directly tied to religion. What sets the Jacob apart is the polycyrate gene, an exceptionally rare natural mutation that allows them to grow 2 or even 4 horns on a single head. With their otherworldly appearance, as if stepping out of legend, Jacob sheep were once kept by European nobles during the Middle Ages in royal gardens and estates as living sculptures, symbolizing power and uniqueness. Today, the UK remains home to the largest Jacob sheep population, with around 5,600 animals, nearly 80% of the global flock, while smaller numbers are scattered across the United States, Canada, and parts of Europe. Compared to breeds like the Merino or Suffolk, Jacob sheep do not produce high wool yields, but they stand out for their uniquely mottled fleece, with each hide and batch of wool carrying its own artistic value. Their meat is considered a rare delicacy, flavorful yet lean, while their diverse horns are prized materials for handicrafts and decoration. This rarity, combined with their significance across religion, art, and specialty farming, has turned the Jacob sheep into a one-of-a-kind, living genetic heritage in the sheep world. And every journey has a beginning. Right now, let us take you to the very first stop, the unique Jacob farms, where the story of this extraordinary breed begins. Unlike industrial sheep breeds raised by the thousands in massive farming complexes, Jacob sheep are primarily kept on small-scale farms or within heritage conservation programs. Even in the UK, the homeland of this unusual breed, the largest farms hold only a spacious, well-ventilated barns with roofs to shield them from rain and wind, while still offering enough room for free movement. From that moment, their new life on the farm officially begins. During the day, the flock is led out to natural pastures, where they leisurely graze and move about in small groups. Unlike industrial sheep, which are densely confined for easier management and maximum yield, Jacob sheep require open space and a free-paced lifestyle to avoid stress. This is the key to maintaining their overall health, improving reproduction, and producing strong, glossy fleeces with their signature mottled patterns. Although natural grass is their main diet, Jacob sheep are also given daily feed supplements to ensure balanced nutrition. Their diet typically includes hay, energy-rich grains, and essential minerals, adjusted to different stages such as nursing, pregnancy, or preparing for shearing. Feed is distributed evenly into long troughs, allowing the sheep to eat comfortably without competition or crowding. At around 12 months of age, Jacob sheep enter their breeding stage. Gestation lasts about 5 months, and each ewe typically gives birth to 1 to 2 lambs per litter. The birthing process is usually quick and with few complications, as Jacob sheep are an easy lambing breed that has retained many of the species' natural traits. At birth, each lamb weighs about 3 to 4 kilograms. The ewe immediately begins licking away the birth fluids, both to clean the newborn and to establish the mother-lamb bond through scent. Within just a few minutes, the lamb is already wobbling to its feet, learning to walk, and instinctively seeking out its first milk. During the first 2 months of life, lambs are kept in a warm pen with their mothers, bedded with dry straw, and equipped with heating lamps to ward off the cold. At this stage, they feed exclusively on their mother's milk, especially the antibody-rich colostrum that boosts immunity. As they grow stronger, the young Jacobs begin following their mothers to nibble on tender grass outside. By the 4th month, they are fully weaned, gradually joining the larger flock, adapting to its free-ranging rhythm and preparing for life on the open pasture. Throughout their growth, Jacob sheep undergo regular health checkups to ensure steady development. Farmers typically administer vaccines against common diseases and provide deworming treatments on schedule. And beyond that, have you ever seen sheep listening to music? In fact, on many modern farms, this practice is quite common. Gentle melodies not only help the flock relax and reduce stress, but also stimulate their appetite and contribute to producing softer, shinier wool. Once the Jacobs reach maturity, they are ready to take on their special role, providing those uniquely modeled fleeces, precious raw material for the textile and handicraft industries. The first shearing usually takes place when the sheep are at least 6 to 12 months old and their fleece has grown long enough for harvest. From then on, shearing is carried out once a year, typically in late spring or early summer. This timing not only keeps the sheep comfortable during the hot season, but also ensures the best fleece quality. The shearing process is essentially the same as with other breeds, but for Jacobs, the aesthetic value of their mottled fleece requires the shearer to work with extra care. The key lies in keeping the animal calm and relaxed. If stressed, their muscles tense up, making shearing more difficult and increasing the risk of cuts or scratches. Farmers use specialized electric clippers with sharp blades, moving swiftly and precisely. Shearing starts from the belly and chest, then proceeds to the flanks, back, and legs, ensuring the fleece comes off in one continuous piece, both beautiful and easy to handle. It takes only a few minutes to remove a whole fleece, but it is truly an art, demanding intense focus, skilled hands, and years of experience from the shearer. The freshly shorn fleece is collected in full sheets and quickly sorted to remove dirt, dry grass, or leaves. Afterwards, the wool is pressed into large bales weighing 150 to 200 kilograms, ready to be transported to factories for further processing. As soon as the raw Jacob wool bales arrive at the factory, workers open them and spread the fleece out on sorting tables. Because Jacob sheep have mottled coats with multiple color patches, this step is especially important. The wool must be separated not only by color regions, but also by fiber quality, fine or coarse. At the same time, bits of straw, dry grass, and dirt clinging to the fleece are carefully removed by hand. This is the picking stage, a mandatory step before washing, designed to loosen the fibers and eliminate coarse impurities. For Jacob wool in particular, the process requires even greater precision than with ordinary white wool, since the goal is to preserve and make full use of the natural color patterns, avoiding the need for dyeing later on. After being sorted and loosened, Jacob wool enters its most critical stage, cleaning. The fleeces are placed into large washing tanks filled with warm water at around 50 to 60, mixed with soap or a mild alkaline solution. Here, the natural lanolin, along with dirt, sweat, and bacteria, is gradually washed away. The wool is only soaked and gently agitated, or carried along conveyor belts through multiple baths, carefully avoiding harsh scrubbing that could break the fibers. After several rinses in clean water, Jacob wool emerges pure, soft, and feather-light. Once washed, the wool is passed through hot air dryers. The temperature is tightly controlled to prevent the fibers from shrinking. Circulating warm air dries the fleece quickly, while preserving its natural loft and softness. Once dry, the Jacob wool enters massive carding machines. Thousands of metal teeth whirl rapidly, straightening the fibers, aligning them in parallel, and removing any remaining impurities. The result is a uniform, fluffy web known as sliver or roving. These roving strips then pass through drafting machines, where they are thinned, standardized, and reduced to only the strongest fibers, ready for the most spectacular step, spinning. This is the most magical transformation in the entire journey, the moment when rustic rovings are fed into high-speed spinning machines and transformed into finished yarn. The stretching and tight twisting process turns the loose fibers into fine yet resilient threads. With Jacob wool, the fiber diameter averages between 27 to 34 microns, perfect for coats, shawls, rugs, and artisanal handicrafts. After spinning, the yarn is wound into bobbins or skeins. Some of it is dyed with industrial or natural dyes to create new colors, but many Jacob products retain their distinctive mottled patterns, one of the key reasons this wool is so highly sought after in the world of fine textiles and handicrafts. The Jacob wool yarn is then woven on machines or handcrafted into fabrics, sweaters, scarves, rugs, and more. Light yet warm, soft yet naturally elastic, combined with its unique mottled coloration, Jacob wool products embody a rustic charm while standing out as truly one of a kind. Jacob wool is not only a textile material, but also a rare cultural symbol. With its naturally mottled patterns that require no dyeing, every piece of wool is one of a kind, turning each finished product into a unique work of art. This distinction has earned Jacob wool the reputation of being a kind of rustic luxury. Simple, yet deeply artistic. From cloaks and scarves to handcrafted rugs, Jacob wool products carry both practical value and display-worthy beauty, preserving the spirit of heritage. The international market holds it in high regard. Raw wool often sells for 15 to 25 USD per kilogram, intact hides for 100 to 200 USD, while exquisite handcrafted items can reach 300 to 500 USD or more in Europe and the United States. Blending utility, artistry, and culture, Jacob wool transcends mere economics to become a material with its own soul, treasured as a living heritage. The Jacob sheep is not only a rare livestock breed, but also a living testament to the harmony between nature and culture. With its unique piebald fleece, Jacob wool brings forth creations that are both rustic and refined, celebrated by artisans and the fashion world alike as a material of rustic luxury. Yet, the value of the Jacob sheep extends far beyond its wool. Each animal with its majestic horns embodies centuries of connection between humans and this extraordinary creature. In today's globalized world, the Jacob sheep is regarded as a living heritage, one that must be preserved not only to safeguard its rare genetic line, but also to uphold the spirit of tradition. For every strand of Jacob wool is more than just raw material. It is a mark of time, of artistry, and of humanity's reverence for nature. A fully grown buffalo may weigh only around 500 kilograms, but its ability to adapt far surpasses that of many other large livestock species. Buffaloes are especially drawn to water and mud, not just to cool off, but to protect their skin from harsh sunlight and biting insects. And interestingly, they even have their own personal assistant, the oxpecker, a small bird that perches on their back to remove parasites and alert them to danger. If India is the buffalo capital of the world with hundreds of millions roaming its fields each day, then Italy is where buffalo milk is turned into culinary gold. From street-side stalls in Mumbai to elegant appetizers in Naples, tens of thousands of tons of mozzarella di bufala are consumed each year, a soft, creamy cheese that's richer and more nutritious than its cow milk counterpart, packed with fat and protein, yet lower in cholesterol. Many still believe that beef is the true king of the table. But buffalo meat is quickly rising to fame for its higher iron content, lower fat levels, and compatibility with modern, health-conscious diets. From muddy fields to five-star restaurants, from plowing soil to topping gourmet dishes, the buffalo has quietly crossed every layer of society. And strangely enough, it's never needed to say a word to prove its worth. Female buffaloes typically give birth once a year, with a gestation period lasting around 10 to 11 months. They usually calve in the spring or early summer, when food is abundant and the weather is favorable, conditions that help ensure the health of both the mother and the newborn calf. After about 6 months, buffalo calves are separated from their mothers and moved to individual pens. This allows farmers to collect the full milk yield from the mother for the production of mozzarella cheese or other dairy products. Female calves are raised on a controlled feeding regimen to grow quickly, stay healthy, and may be kept as future breeders. Meanwhile, male calves are typically raised separately for meat production. Buffaloes can eat a variety of feeds, but the most common are silage corn and straw. After each wheat harvest, massive piles of leftover straw are gathered by specialized baling machines and compressed into large, tightly packed rolls weighing hundreds of kilograms. The straw bales are then loaded onto trucks and transported back to the farm by tractor, where they are tightly wrapped in long plastic tubes for preservation. Hundreds of bales are lined up in front of the barns, ready to serve as a crucial feed reserve for the buffaloes during winter or extended dry seasons. At feeding time, the straw is loaded into a high-capacity feed mixer combined with bran, grains, minerals, and other supplements. The result is a perfectly blended mix, easier to digest, rich in nutrients, and designed to fuel growth, strength, and the rich milk used to make premium mozzarella. An adult buffalo consumes around 8 to 15 kilograms of feed per day and spends up to 6 to 8 hours just ruminating. So if you ever see a buffalo constantly chewing with that slow, thoughtful look, don't be surprised. It's just enjoying a second round of the same meal, straight from its own stomach. And after hours of chewing and re-chewing their meals, what do you think buffaloes do next? That's right, they go for a bath. Bathing is usually scheduled around 9 a.m. or 3 p.m. when the sun is less intense. The moment the barn doors open, the herd rushes toward the pond almost instinctively. They plunge, splash, and soak, not just to cool off, but to relax their muscles after long hours of pulling or ruminating. A buffalo's body temperature ranges from 38 to 39 degrees Celsius, higher than most livestock. That helps with metabolism, but also makes them highly sensitive to heat and prone to heat stress. For buffaloes, daily bathing isn't about staying clean, it's about staying healthy. Once they've eaten their fill and cooled down, buffaloes also get a massage. Automatic rotating brushes are installed right inside the barn, gently spinning when the buffalo rubs against them. They help clean the coat, reduce stress, and stimulate blood circulation. Every stage of care, from feeding to bathing, leads to one goal: milk collection. A female buffalo typically begins producing milk 8 to 10 months after giving birth. Before milking, the udder is thoroughly cleaned with warm water and sterilized cloths to remove dirt and bacteria. Next, an automatic milking machine is attached, simulating the natural rhythm of a calf's suckling. The suction is carefully calibrated to extract milk efficiently while protecting the udder, preventing inflammation or injury, a common cause of reduced milk yield. On average, a buffalo can produce 4 to 6 liters per session. Modern farms can milk dozens of animals at once, smoothly, cleanly, and without bottlenecks. The milk then flows through a sealed stainless steel pipe system and into a cooling tank at 4 degrees Celsius, marking the beginning of its journey into smooth, creamy slices of mozzarella. When milk enters the cheese factory, it doesn't go straight into production. First, it must undergo strict testing for freshness, cleanliness, and harmful bacteria. Then, key nutritional indicators such as fat content, protein levels, and lactose are carefully analyzed. Only milk that truly meets the standards is kept, because even a 0.1% deviation in fat can ruin an entire batch of cheese worth tens of thousands of dollars. To ensure absolute safety before beginning its journey into cheese, the milk must undergo pasteurization. In this step, it is rapidly heated to 72 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 20 seconds, just enough to destroy harmful bacteria without losing its valuable nutrients. Immediately afterward, the milk is quickly cooled to lock in its fresh flavor and prevent any further microbial growth. After pasteurization, buffalo milk is transferred into large stainless steel vats, where it enters a crucial stage, coagulation. This is when the liquid milk begins to transform into a semi-solid form, separating into two main parts: curd, the solid portion that will become cheese, and whey, the liquid that will be removed later. To trigger this process, rennet is added, a traditional enzyme extracted from a young calf's stomach, or produced using modern microbial fermentation. Rennet causes the milk proteins, primarily casein, to bond together, forming a gel-like network that traps fat and essential nutrients. Once the rennet is added, an automatic stirring system gently agitates the mixture for 30 to 40 minutes to ensure even distribution of the enzyme. The stirring must be precisely controlled. Too vigorous and the curd may break prematurely. Too weak and the milk could settle unevenly, leading to inconsistent cheese quality. After stirring, the mixture is left to rest for about 30 minutes, allowing the curd to naturally set. Once the curd has formed, slow-moving wire blades begin to cut it into small, uniform pieces about the size of corn kernels. Cutting increases the surface area, allowing whey to separate more easily. Immediately after cutting, whey starts to rise to the surface. The mixture is then gently heated to around 38 to 42 degrees Celsius, helping the curds contract and release more whey. This step plays a key role in shaping the final texture, moisture level, and even the flavor of the cheese. As the whey separation process finishes, the massive stainless steel vats begin to tilt slowly. From with soft, elastic masses of curd slide down the chute, like slabs of condensed milk being released from a giant metallic mold. This is the curd, the concentrated essence of hundreds of liters of fresh buffalo milk. These ivory white curds are still warm, delicate, and fragile. Before they can be transformed into cheese strands, they must be evenly cut. In the prep area, workers use knives or semi-automatic cutters to divide the curds into smaller, uniform blocks, precisely measured. This step isn't just for convenience, it allows heat and salt to penetrate evenly, ensuring the final cheese develops the signature stretch, gloss, and elasticity that define true mozzarella. And this is one of the most anticipated moments in the entire cheese-making process. After being finely shredded, the curd is transferred into a specialized stretching and mixing machine. Here, hot water, around 70 to 80 degrees Celsius, is gradually added as the machine continuously stirs, softening the curd and bringing it to that signature stretchy consistency. Under the combined effect of heat and water, the proteins in the curd begin to straighten and rebond, forming the chewy, elastic, and smooth texture that defines true mozzarella. The portions are then rolled into perfect spheres using a precise spinning motion, resulting in evenly shaped, glossy mozzarella balls. Finally, the mozzarella drops into a cold water tank, rapidly cooling each piece. This step stabilizes the texture and prevents the balls from sticking during storage. The entire process, from shredding the curd to forming smooth mozzarella balls, takes less than 10 minutes, but every step must be tightly controlled to ensure proper texture, flavor, and freshness. In some artisanal dairies in Italy, mozzarella isn't just shaped into balls, it's braided into traditional forms known as treccia mozzarella. Braiding the cheese enhances its elasticity and structural integrity, while helping it retain moisture and providing a more satisfying texture when sliced. This technique isn't just practical, it's a cultural signature, especially popular in southern regions like Campania and Puglia, where mozzarella is considered a true culinary heritage. After being shaped and chilled, Each mozzarella ball is transferred to the packaging line via an automated conveyor system. Robotic arms precisely place the cheese into specialized plastic containers, followed by an injection of sterilized brine to keep the mozzarella moist, soft, and fresh for longer. The brine also prevents the pieces from sticking together and helps preserve their elastic texture. The containers are then sealed, labeled, and packed into large cartons before being moved to cold storage at 4 degrees Celsius. From there, they're ready to be shipped to supermarkets, restaurants, and food chains around the world. According to estimates, over 5 million mozzarella balls are consumed globally every single day, from pizzas in New York to caprese salads in Rome. A staggering number for a cheese that lives in water and never dries out. Buffaloes don't just give us rich, milky mozzarella, they're also a source of lean, flavorful red meat packed with protein. Now let's follow their next journey as they enter the advanced processing lines of modern meat factories. After a long journey from the farm to the factory, buffaloes are first brought into a resting area to stabilize their condition. This short break helps reduce transportation stress and ensures the meat retains optimal quality. Next, trained staff conduct a health check on each animal, measuring body temperature, monitoring heart rate, and recording physiological data. Only buffaloes that meet strict health standards proceed to the specialized processing line. Some large-scale facilities can handle up to 1,000 buffaloes per day, using automated systems designed to ensure hygiene, safety, and animal welfare. India alone supplies 20% of all buffalo meat traded globally, making it the world's largest exporter. That means 1 in every 5 buffalo steaks on the global market likely started its journey in the Indian subcontinent. The processed carcasses are then moved onto conveyor belts, where precision cutting systems divide the dense, lean buffalo meat into standard sections. Unnecessary parts like hide, fat, or internal organs are removed during this stage. Clean meat is then trimmed into specific sizes, large cuts for restaurants or thin slices for retail. The cuts are quickly sent to freezing chambers maintained at 18 degrees Celsius for 72 hours, preserving freshness and extending shelf life. Once they meet temperature and time requirements, the portions are vacuum sealed, labeled, and packed into insulated boxes. From there, these fresh red cuts are ready to be shipped to supermarkets, commercial kitchens, and dining tables around the world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now let's dive into the next chapter of our journey, where more fascinating surprises await just ahead. Amid the cracked savannas of Namibia, a black rhino weighing over 1.2 tons hangs upside down beneath a helicopter. The sight may seem absurd, but it is, in fact, the safest wildlife transport technique in the world. Every journey like this begins with one mission: to rescue, protect, and return life to the wild. Before the flight, conservation workers sedate the rhino, check its health, attach a tracking device, and secure straps around its ankles, the strongest and safest load-bearing points. The upside-down position allows it to breathe more easily, maintain steady circulation, and avoid injury throughout the flight. Each relocation costs tens of thousands of dollars and mobilizes veterinarians, pilots, and rangers, all for the sake of giving one life another chance to live. And sometimes to save just one, an entire fleet of helicopters must take to the skies. To compete on racetracks across the globe, more than 30,000 racehorses each year must take to the skies, becoming the most extraordinary passengers of the global logistics industry, where every movement is precisely calculated to ensure absolute safety. Before takeoff, each horse undergoes a full health check, vaccination, and receives an international quarantine certificate. They are then guided into air stables, specialized transport containers equipped with non-slip floors, soft partitions, and stable temperature control systems. Each compartment typically holds 2 to 3 horses, carefully secured before being lifted onto the aircraft by a specialized loader. Throughout the flight, a groom, an onboard caretaker, travels with them to monitor, comfort, and make sure the horses remain calm and well-fed. The cargo cabin maintains a quiet environment with controlled pressure and temperature, helping minimize stress during the entire journey. Upon landing, the horses are taken directly to a veterinary quarantine facility for a final health inspection before continuing to racetracks or training centers. It may seem like just another logistical operation, but behind it lies dedication, precision, and profound respect for these extraordinary creatures. The transportation of live livestock is a crucial link in the global agricultural trade, enabling cattle and sheep to reach markets for consumption or breeding. The primary goal is to ensure their safety and welfare throughout journeys that often span thousands of kilometers. The process begins on farms, where animals undergo health checks, vaccinations, and receive identification tags to guarantee full traceability. They are then loaded onto multi-deck specialized trucks equipped with ventilation systems and non-slip floors, all designed to minimize stress during transit. Upon arrival at the port, the livestock are taken to the export holding area to rest, eat, drink, and undergo a final health inspection. Next, the livestock are guided up safe loading ramps onto vessels under the supervision of technicians and veterinarians. On board, they are housed in pens fitted with water troughs, forced ventilation, and bedding, with 24-hour monitoring to safeguard their health. Feed and water are provided continuously throughout the voyage, which can last from several days to several weeks, depending on the destination. Although animal welfare standards such as LGAP have been introduced, the transport of live animals still carries significant risks. Long journeys can cause stress, dehydration, or heat shock. Yet every improvement in this process represents a step forward toward a more humane and sustainable future for live animal transport. Just like the transport of livestock demands absolute precision and safety, helicopter training for canine units is a form of specialized logistics, where every detail is carefully calculated to protect the lives of these four-legged partners. Canine warriors from military and special police forces are trained for rescue missions, criminal pursuit, and operations in rugged terrains, where helicopters are often the only way to reach the field. They are conditioned to become familiar with the roar of rotor blades, the scent of aviation fuel, and to stay calm under intense pressure. During flights, each canine is equipped with a heavy-duty harness featuring a 5-point locking system, stainless steel connectors, protective goggles, and noise-reducing ear covers, ensuring balance and orientation amid the powerful noise of the helicopter. Most training flights are conducted in tandem position, with the dog and handler suspended together beneath the aircraft, allowing the trainer to monitor breathing, movements, and reactions throughout the flight. On average, a canine requires 15 to 30 flight sessions to become fully mission-ready. Calm when approaching rotors, steady while hanging in mid-air, and ready to act within seconds after landing. It's more than just a test of skill. It's a testament to the unbreakable bond between humans and their most loyal companions. Once the most basic means of animal transport, pig trucks have now evolved into mobile barns, where pigs receive measured feed, clean water, continuous health monitoring through sensors, and human care throughout the journey. From a strictly sanitized loading area, the herd walks up non-slip ramps into insulated metal compartments lined with dry straw, clean water systems, and 24/7 gas sensors. just a single speck of dust slipping through the filtration system. If carrying the ASF virus, African swine fever, which can survive for months in frozen meat, is enough to wipe out an entire farm and disrupt the global pork supply chain. That's why the air circulating inside these trucks isn't just a breeze. It's the fragile boundary between a safe journey and a silent pandemic. With the massive scale of Texas's livestock industry, only these 25-meter-long livestock trucks are powerful enough to carry nearly 200 cattle across thousands of kilometers. Each convoy consists of 2 or 3 double-deck trailers, connected to the barn by steel ramps inclined at less than 20 degrees, allowing the cattle to walk up naturally without force. Handlers use paddle sticks, tools that emit light and sound signals, instead of electric prods, guiding the herd in a humane yet highly effective way. Throughout the journey, the cattle travel in well-ventilated compartments, aluminum bodies perforated for airflow, insulated roofs, draining floors, and continuous temperature sensors that prevent heat stress and dehydration, even under the scorching Texas sun. Compared to standard trucks, these vehicles are heavier and more expensive, yet they cut transport losses by more than half, ensuring a seamless global beef supply chain, where every steak that reaches the table remains fresh, tender, and world-class. Here come thousands of ducks leaving the fields, waddling down into boats under the skillful guidance of the farmer. At first glance, it may seem chaotic, but every step follows a carefully orchestrated order, like a white-feathered army moving in harmony across the waterways. The farmer only needs to call a few familiar signals and lightly tap a long bamboo stick wrapped with a strip of plastic, and the entire flock immediately changes direction. In reality, the ducks don't understand human language. They respond through conditioned reflexes. After hundreds of past movements, they've learned to associate specific calls with turning, stopping, or moving forward. So when one duck begins to change direction, the flock instinctively follows. When they reach the dock, the farmer opens the way for them into the boats, and within minutes, thousands of ducks are transported to freshly harvested fields, where they resume their familiar cycle, eating leftover grains, catching insects, and naturally fertilizing the soil with their droppings. Do you know how people transport thousands of bees without angering the entire hive? Each hive box is carefully suspended beneath a helicopter, and every flight is an art, where science meets the instinct of these tiny but powerful creatures, soaring across the open sky. Before moving to new flowering areas, hives are placed in thick pinewood boxes, a material that is not only durable, but also safe, free from chemical odors that could disorient the bees or provoke aggression. Inside, insulated linings maintain stable temperatures, while tiny ventilation slots allow oxygen exchange without creating disruptive airflow. Each box typically contains 5 to 7 frames, grouped into clusters of 8 to 10 boxes per flight. To ensure balance, the entire assembly is secured with a bee-lift rig, a specialized steel frame connected to the helicopter cable via swivel locks. This system keeps the hive clusters centered and stable, even as the rotors change direction, preventing vibrations that could kill the colony in seconds. Upon arrival, the pilot gently lowers the bee clusters, and within minutes, thousands of wings awaken. The bees set out to forage, build new combs, and kickstart the next honey season. Over the past century, tens of thousands of dams have been built to generate electricity and store water, but they have also blocked the upstream migration of salmon, leaving them exhausted and sometimes fatally injured as they try to leap over tall barriers before spawning. To address this, scientists have developed biological passage tubes made from flexible polymers with smooth inner surfaces. Fish are guided into these tubes and propelled by stable water pressure, allowing them to traverse dams and terrains up to 2 kilometers in just a few dozen seconds, hundreds of times faster than swimming naturally. Special sensors and oxygen control systems help the salmon maintain direction, avoid collisions, and preserve their scales. In this way, each tube functions as a soft elevator, enabling salmon to pass dams safely, conserve energy, and most importantly, survive the journey back to their spawning grounds. Donkeys are quiet yet resilient animals, generating over 6 billion RMB annually for China through the Ejiao donkey hide gelatin industry. In northern provinces such as Shandong and Hebei, donkeys are usually transported by truck, with each vehicle carrying around 30 animals per trip. Typically, donkeys are tied by the head and guided up metal ramps connecting the ground to the truck. Sometimes, due to the steep and slippery incline, 2 handlers use poles at the donkey's hindquarters to push the heavy animals upward. The space is cramped and somewhat makeshift, but even today, it remains the most common method of transport in the supply chain for one of China's most luxurious and expensive traditional medicine products. Sheep are among the most fragile yet essential livestock, serving as a pillar of Australia's red meat export economy and accounting for over 35% of the nation's total red meat export value. In 2025, more than 2.8 million sheep begin long journeys to meet the growing demand from global markets. At farms across Queensland, sheep are guided into inspection areas where workers operate automated weighing systems capable of processing more than 9 animals per minute. On average, an Australian sheep weighs about 103 pounds, providing enough meat for 60 family meals. Before departure, workers conduct strict checks on tie-downs, temperature, and the overall health of the flock. Once cleared, the sheep are loaded onto specialized trucks equipped with dual ventilation systems and automatic water tanks, ensuring each animal receives around 6 liters of water per day throughout the journey to Fremantleport. At Fremantleport, the world's largest live sheep export hub, the flock undergoes a final health inspection before boarding multi-deck vessels. The most impressive among them is the MV Ocean Shearer, the world's largest sheep transport ship with a capacity of about 75,000 sheep across 5 decks, consuming approximately 600,000 liters of water per day, equivalent to the usage of around 530 American households. The voyage from Fremantle to the Middle East lasts 7 to 9 days, depending on weather conditions. Because sheep are highly sensitive to noise and environmental changes, crew members work in shifts, checking the flock every 2 hours to ensure stable temperatures. Cooling mist systems and automatic temperature sensors are activated to reduce stress and maintain ideal conditions. However, animal welfare organizations and numerous independent investigations continue to report cases of sheep suffering extreme heat, dehydration, and prolonged stress during the journey, particularly on routes to the Middle East. According to Australia's Department of Agriculture, the live sheep transport industry aims to end live sheep exports by sea by 2028, as a balanced step between economic interests and long-term animal welfare commitments. From here, their story carries not only commercial value, but also reflects a nation's ongoing effort to redefine the boundaries between technology, ethics, and global demand within modern agricultural logistics. The United States is often referred to as the Kingdom of Turkeys, producing the largest quantity of turkeys in the world, accounting for approximately 46.6% of global production, 6 times more than Poland, the second largest producer. In the US, turkey holds a special place in culinary tradition, especially during major holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. During the festive season's peak weeks, over 45 million turkeys are consumed, mainly as the centerpiece of traditional family dinners, typically served with cranberry sauce. This large-scale consumption has prompted many to reflect on how to balance long-standing cultural customs with growing ethical considerations around the use of animals for food. While traditional turkeys, like the bronze or bourbon red breeds, are still raised on open pastures and can reproduce naturally like any other poultry, modern broad-breasted whites have lost that ability. They've been selectively bred for such oversized breasts that natural mating is physically impossible, forcing the entire industry to rely on artificial insemination to sustain the breed. Insemination is a critical step in genetic control. For artificial insemination, a device called an insemination machine is used, consisting of 2 main parts, one for collecting semen from the male turkey and another for injecting it into the female. Male turkeys have internal reproductive organs and lack a penis like many other animals. Instead, they have a cloaca. To collect semen, technicians must manually stimulate the bird with the correct technique and posture to extract sperm. Afterward, the female is held in place by hand, and a specialized syringe or pump is used to insert the semen collected earlier. On average, an industrial farm can inseminate between 1,000 and 3,000 hens per day. After artificial insemination, turkeys are placed in individual enclosures specially designed for comfort. Every factor, from lighting and temperature to ambient noise, must be tightly controlled. Even small deviations in temperature or light cycles can reduce reproductive performance by as much as 30%. In intensive farming conditions, some birds exhibit signs of depression, such as withdrawal, unusual vocalizations, and loss of appetite. After just a few days, the turkeys enter their egg-laying phase. On average, each hen can produce around 100 eggs throughout its reproductive cycle. At the right moment, the eggs are gently laid and roll onto conveyor belts located just below their enclosures. This modern system collects thousands of eggs daily, without causing cracks or deformities. The eggs are then transported directly to the storage area and placed onto specialized trays. After laying, the hens are returned to the rearing area to rest and regain their energy. After being collected, the eggs are carefully packed and quickly transported to hatcheries to ensure they maintain the quality needed to become healthy chicks. Once they arrive, the egg trays are placed in the incubation area, where the hatching process begins automatically. To ensure successful incubation, staff must properly seal the incubators and select the appropriate settings for temperature and humidity. During operation, the trays inside the incubators gently rotate to distribute heat evenly, typically maintaining a temperature range of 37 to 38 degrees Celsius. After a few days, staff open the incubators and remove the trays to check hatch rates using the candling method. The light allows clear observation of the embryo's development inside each egg. After about 28 days, the chicks begin to hatch, emitting soft peeping sounds from within the shells, marking the arrival of new life as each chick gradually breaks free and enters the world. After hatching, the chicks are placed into sturdy trays and transported onto a conveyor belt. At this stage, the automated system carefully moves each chick toward a specialized machine designed to remove leftover eggshell fragments. In the past, this process was done manually, taking 10 to 15 minutes per chick. But today, thanks to automation, hundreds of chicks can be cleaned in just 1 to 2 minutes, significantly faster and more efficient, while maintaining safety standards. Once freed from their cumbersome shells, the chicks are quickly carried by conveyor to the next stage, gender sorting. Here, trained staff manually examine each chick's feather color, body size, and other features to distinguish males from females. After sorting, the chicks follow separate conveyor lines, marking the start of different journeys. The mini turkey ladies are prioritized for the next stages, as they're more suitable for meat and egg production. Meanwhile, male chicks that don't meet production standards, typically due to small size or unsuitability for meat yield, are separated and sent to the byproduct processing system. In this area, they are fed into a specialized grinder that turns them into a protein-rich paste. As for the selected females, they continue on the conveyor toward the vaccination stage. Workers place each chick in the correct position on the system, and the automated equipment delivers accurate injections in seconds. These vaccines protect the chicks from common diseases such as infections, enteritis, neurological disorders, avian flu, and E. coli. After the initial processing steps are completed, the turkey poults are placed into multi-tiered plastic trays with ventilation holes to ensure proper airflow and prevent suffocation. These trays are then loaded into climate-controlled transport vehicles, where the temperature is maintained at around 32 to 35 degrees Celsius, ideal for the sensitive body temperature of newly hatched turkeys. From there, the poults are transported to satellite farms to begin the grow-out phase. Unlike adult turkeys, housing for turkey poults requires much more careful preparation. Before the chicks are brought in, workers cover the floor with a layer of wood shavings or dry straw to retain warmth and absorb moisture, both critical in the first few days. Then each tray of poults is gently placed onto the bedding, helping them adjust smoothly to their new environment without stress. Turkey poults can take up to 2 to 3 days to learn how to eat and drink on their own, unlike other poultry species that are quicker and more independent. To support them, the initial feed consists of concentrated, protein-rich pellets that are easy to digest and placed directly on the floor. Fresh water is always available in shallow trays to prevent dehydration. In just 1 week, a single poult can gain over 400 to 500 grams, with growth rates during the first month being nearly 1.8 times faster than that of conventional broiler chickens. This rapid development quickly makes the once spacious housing feel cramped. Even as they double or triple in size, the poults continue to live in groups until they reach full maturity. By around 2 months of age, turkeys begin to show their distinctive features. Smooth white feathers, nearly bare necks, and eyes that sparkle like tiny crystals, signaling the start of a new growth phase. And finally, the moment every poultry farmer waits for has arrived. When the turkeys have fully matured, reaching weights of 12 to 20 kilograms each, and the barns begin to feel overcrowded, they enter the harvesting phase. Typically, turkeys are caught at night, a time when they are less active and have slower reflexes, which helps reduce stress across the flock. Workers carefully walk through the barns, using their hands or specialized tools to catch each large turkey, then place them into dedicated transport crates, each holding about 4 to 6 birds, depending on their weight. Once the crates are filled, they are loaded onto specially designed trucks, equipped with ventilation systems and anti-slip flooring to ensure a safe and stable journey. When the trucks arrive at the processing plant, the turkey crates are carefully unloaded and quickly transferred to the receiving area. Here, each turkey is weighed and undergoes a basic health check, with key indicators such as weight and condition being recorded, marking the first step in the plant's quality control process. Throughout this stage, a specialized blue lighting system is used. This calming light helps reduce stress and keeps the turkeys in a stable state after the long transport journey. Next, the system tilts the crates, causing the turkeys to gently slide into the processing area. Here, workers manually lift each turkey into the handling system. Once the bird is rendered unconscious, it is immersed in a hot water tank. The high temperature of the water helps loosen the feathers, making the defeathering process faster and easier. The turkeys are then transferred to specialized machines designed to remove feathers. These defeathering machines are equipped with soft rubber rollers that gently rub against the skin, separating feathers without damaging or scratching the meat's surface. The turkey's legs are removed by an automated blade system operating at near blink-of-an-eye speed. As each bird passes through, the blade drops and delivers a clean, decisive cut in less than a second. The legs fall straight into a collection trough, completely separated from the body, moving forward on the conveyor. The turkey's body moves to the internal processing station. Here, an automated system creates a precise opening, followed by a specialized suction mechanism that gently collects internal components such as the liver, heart, and intestines. These parts are then directed onto a lower conveyor belt, kept separate from the main body, and sent to a dedicated byproduct processing line. In a separate area, specialists analyze chemical samples such as hydrogen peroxide, peracetic acid, or chlorine-based compounds before use. These substances help clean and brighten the turkey's skin. Although the process remains controversial, no scientific study has definitively confirmed any specific health risks. What's your take on this? The turkeys are then moved by conveyor to pre-mixed chemical baths. During soaking, an aeration system keeps the solution circulating to ensure even distribution and effective whitening across the skin surface. After being soaked in the chemical solution, the turkeys return to the familiar conveyor belt to continue the process. First, they pass through a clean water rinsing system that removes any remaining chemicals from the skin. After rinsing, the turkeys are transferred to a high-speed drying line approximately 50 meters long. They are dried using hot air to remove any remaining moisture on the skin. In addition to rapid drying through heated airflow, the turkeys are rotated at high speed to accelerate the process while minimizing exposure to the external environment. The drying system is equipped with multiple powerful fans that ensure even heat distribution across the entire body of each turkey. After drying, the turkeys pass through an optical sorting system equipped with high-speed cameras capable of scanning up to 9,000 birds per hour. The system analyzes every detail on the surface of the skin, from bruises and scratches to uneven coloration. Image processing algorithms identify any defects and trigger mechanical arms to divert substandard birds onto a separate conveyor. Next, the turkey bodies are secured and moved through an automated wing cutting station. The system uses sensors to precisely locate the joint between the wing and the body, then sharp blades descend to separate each wing within seconds. The wings are collected on a conveyor belt below and transferred to a separate process challenge. The thigh joint, where the thick muscle meets the pelvic bone, doesn't always sit in a perfect position. That's why the thigh separation system uses curved blades and pressure sensors, not just to cut, but to slip precisely into the natural break point of the joint. Now, everything moves into the final stage, the packaging line. Remember the internal organs we separated earlier, where speed and precision approach perfection? Breast meat, liver, heart, thighs, all cleaned and sorted, roll steadily along the automated conveyors toward high-accuracy electronic scales that measure each portion down to the gram. Next, tray sealing and vacuum packing machines take over, creating clean, uniform, retail-ready products. Each pack is labeled not only with the production date, but also a QR code that traces the entire journey, from farm to table. Every minute, hundreds of portions are inspected, sealed, and sent straight into cold storage, ready for shipment. From industrial farms to fully automated processing lines, the journey of the turkey is a snapshot of the modern global food supply chain, where technology, logistics, and appetite converge. And next time you bite into a turkey sausage or enjoy a perfectly roasted holiday bird, remember, behind that flavor lies a massive, evolving system built for one purpose: delivering clean, safe, and convenient food to millions of families around the world. US has plenty of ostrich farms, but most are small scale, mainly serving exotic meat to upscale restaurants. Still, Americans are marketing pros, branding ostrich as a superfood, even calling it the next bison. Meanwhile, South Africa runs the game at scale, controlling the full supply chain from breeding and meat to premium leather exports. South Africa produces, America dines in style. So who really rules the ostrich world? Once rulers of Africa's deserts, wild ostriches were nearly hunted to extinction, with fewer than 700,000 left in the wild today. But thanks to commercial farming, over 2.5 million ostriches are now raised globally, becoming a golden link in the modern agricultural chain, from South Africa to China. The ostrich is the largest bird on Earth, reaching up to 2.8 meters tall and weighing as much as 150 kilograms. With long, powerful legs, it can sprint up to 70 kilometers per hour, making it the fastest land bird alive. Its thick, soft feathers help it survive extreme climates, turning it into a true warrior of the desert and open plains. Today, ostriches are commonly raised in the US using modern breeding systems with strict control from egg to maturity. Yet, despite living among machines and technology, their reproductive instincts remain as wild and raw as they were in the desert. When mating season arrives, the male ostrich begins his performance. He crouches low to the ground, flaps his wings repeatedly, shakes his neck, and emits a deep, resonant boom, a full-body display of brute strength. Unlike peacocks, who simply fan out their vibrant tails and stand still to attract a mate, ostriches have to move, shake, and work for attention. And if the female shows no interest, the male will chase her, literally, running, dancing, and refusing to give up until she stops. Mating happens naturally, quickly, just 1 to 2 minutes, and then both birds return to the herd as if nothing ever happened. A fleeting moment, purely instinctual, but exactly how the next generation begins. After mating, the female ostrich begins laying eggs. In each cycle, she can lay between 15 and 20 eggs, at a steady pace of 1 egg per day. Once enough eggs are laid, the female instinctively gathers them into a large nest on the ground and begins incubation. Ostrich eggs are the largest eggs in the animal kingdom. Each one can weigh up to 1.5 kilograms, roughly equivalent to 24 chicken eggs. The shell is thick and hard like porcelain, capable of withstanding up to 100 kilograms of pressure without breaking. What's fascinating is that, although a male ostrich often mates with multiple females during the breeding season, once he chooses a nest, he doesn't walk away. On the contrary, he shares incubation duties with the female. She takes the day shift, while he takes the night. It's a partnership that's not romantic or flashy, but quietly responsible, precise, and effective, the ostrich way. Because the natural incubation success rate of ostriches is relatively low, farms often collect the eggs and place them in specialized incubators to improve efficiency. The eggs are carefully cleaned and then transferred into incubation chambers maintained at a stable temperature of around 36.5 degrees Celsius, with humidity adjusted between 25% and 55%, depending on the stage of development. These machines use circulating fans to evenly distribute heat and maintain a consistent environment. Importantly, the eggs are automatically rotated every 1 to 2 hours to prevent the embryo from sticking to the shell and to ensure even development. With such precise control, the hatch rate can reach up to 90%, far higher than what natural incubation typically achieves. During incubation, farmers periodically remove the eggs for inspection using a flashlight in a dark environment. This allows them to observe the inside of the eggs to monitor embryo development and detect early signs of infertile or damaged eggs. By doing so, they can remove any unviable eggs in time to prevent them from affecting the others. If not used for hatching, ostrich eggs are often turned into a variety of unique dishes, from giant omelets and oversized baked goods to gourmet steamed specialties. With a mildly rich, nutty flavor and high nutritional value, Ostrich eggs are especially popular in upscale cuisine. What's more, the thick porcelain-like shell isn't discarded. Instead, it's repurposed for handcrafted art. After being cleaned and polished, the shells are carved with intricate patterns and transformed into souvenirs, decorative lamps, vases, or even detailed works of art. Let's return to the incubation chamber, where life has been quietly forming. After around 42 to 46 days, the thick porcelain-like shells begin to crack. Faint chirps emerge, signaling the arrival of a new generation. Newborn ostrich chicks are covered in soft, brown and black down, a perfect natural camouflage. Despite just hatching, they already have surprisingly long legs and necks, giving them a clumsy yet striking appearance. Within just a few hours, they're able to stand and take their first steps. No guidance, no parent beside them. Independence begins almost immediately. Though born in an incubator, their survival instinct is fully intact, as if they had just emerged from the heart of the wild. After hatching, each ostrich chick undergoes a thorough health check, including reflexes, skin moisture, standing strength, and even vocal response. Every chick is weighed on its first day to monitor growth, as baby ostriches develop at a remarkable pace. On average, they weigh around 800 grams to 1 kilogram at birth. But within just 2 weeks, with proper care, their weight can triple or even quadruple. And their legs are already fast enough to outrun a walking human. After the health checks are completed, the ostrich chicks are gathered and placed into large ventilated crates. They are then transported to specialized rearing areas. No mother needed. From the moment they hatch, ostrich chicks begin an independent life. Each pen houses around 40 chicks, kept warm and carefully monitored. Their diet includes finely chopped vegetables, tender grass, and growth-boosting feed to accelerate development. Thanks to this specialized nutrition plan, the chicks grow rapidly, towering in size within just a few months. Since they are primarily raised for meat, their growth rate needs to be significantly faster than that of ostriches in the wild. After about 6 months of rearing, ostriches experience remarkable growth in both height and weight. From just 0.3 meters tall at birth, they now stand between 2 to 2.5 meters, nearly 3 times the height of an average adult. At this stage, they are moved to semi-free-range enclosures where they can roam freely to build muscle and reduce stress. These open spaces allow them to walk, run, and move naturally, just like in the wild. Their diet remains the same: a mix of high-protein feed, vegetables, and essential minerals. This carefully maintained nutrition plan ensures fast and healthy development. Thanks to the proper care and optimal living conditions, each fully grown ostrich can weigh between 120 and 150 kilograms, the ideal weight for entering the meat processing phase. However, not every ostrich ends up at the slaughterhouse. Some strong, quick-reacting birds are selected for competitive racing. In states like Florida and Arizona, quirky ostrich riding contests are held regularly, drawing large crowds. Riders wear helmets, climb onto the ostrich's back, and try to stay on as it bolts forward at speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour. Chaotic, hilarious, and downright wild, it's a nightmare for the faint-hearted, but pure entertainment for drama-loving spectators. However, for most ostriches, their journey doesn't end on the racetrack. It quietly continues in another direction, one with no return. Workers approach each bird slowly, gently placing a dark cloth over its head to keep it calm and reduce resistance. Once settled, the ostrich is led onto a specialized transport truck, designed with proper ventilation, low floors, and wide walkways to minimize stress and prevent injury during transit. In many countries, such as the United States and members of the European Union, animal welfare laws clearly mandate that all livestock transport, including ostriches, must follow humane handling standards up to the very last moment. At the factory, the ostriches are first fitted with special harnesses to begin the cleaning process. The feathers are removed first, followed by a thorough rinse, using a water spray system to eliminate any remaining dirt. After the ostrich is cleaned, factory workers begin processing it into different parts. The firm, lean red meat is sent directly to the packaging area, usually portioned into specific weights ranging from 500 grams to 800 grams. The skin, on the other hand, is handled through a separate process. After being processed at the factory, the meat is carefully packaged to preserve its freshness and rich flavor. In the United States, the price of each pack of ostrich meat ranges from $15 to $25. Depending on the cut and quality, ostrich meat is often prepared as delicious grilled or smoked dishes. In addition to ostrich meat and leather, the feathers left after processing are also cleverly utilized. Some are crafted into high-quality feather dusters, ideal for cleaning delicate spaces like art galleries or fine wooden interiors, thanks to their gentle, scratch-free touch. The rest make their way into the world of fashion, where they're dyed in vibrant colors and transformed into eye-catching accessories, such as earrings, feathered hats, or glamorous embellishments on evening gowns. From high-end fashion runways to lively street festivals, the incredible journey of these wide-eyed ostriches doesn't end there. Now let's visit one of the largest ostrich leather factories in the world to explore how raw ostrich hides are transformed into hundreds of thousands of luxurious, high-end products. First, the pre-treated ostrich hides are placed on a conveyor belt and transferred into large industrial drum systems. These machines operate much like industrial washing machines for leather, specifically designed to clean and soften the surface. During this process, chemical agents such as enzymes and mild acids are introduced into the rotating drums to help remove any remaining impurities from the surface of the hides. The treatment typically lasts between 40 minutes to an hour, depending on the condition of each batch. Next, the ostrich hides are taken into the tanning stage using chromium salts to stabilize the fiber structure and prevent decomposition. After several hours of rotation in industrial drums, the hides turn a pale bluish-gray color, known as wet blue. While the ostrich leather is still in a damp state after tanning, it is placed into a dyeing vat or large industrial drum filled with a dye solution. After being drum-dyed and thoroughly dried, the ostrich hides are now stable in both color and shape. The surface looks firmer, the quill follicles stand out clearly, and the overall texture feels more refined. But to truly achieve that polished, luxurious appearance expected of high-end leather, they need one more step: surface dyeing. The chemicals and dyes used in the surface dyeing process are prepared in advance, following precise formulas developed by specialists. This ensures that the color is applied consistently and evenly under a strictly controlled process. Before the dyeing begins, each ostrich hide must be fully stretched on a specially designed steel frame. At this stage, workers place dozens of small screws around the mesh edges and secure the ostrich hide in place. Once everything is set, the real color show begins. The aligned hides are moved to the spraying area, where workers use spray guns filled with the pre-mixed dye to apply color to each piece. After the dyeing process, the colorful ostrich hides are moved to the buffing area for the final stage of surface finishing. Buffing machines gently polish the leather, helping it achieve a smooth and even texture. This step not only removes any excess surface dye, but also gives the hides a sleek, refined appearance. In the next stage, after the ostrich hides have been dyed, buffed, and polished, they are sent through a specialized pressing machine to further soften and smooth out these stubborn hides. This leather press is specially designed to handle challenging leather surfaces. During operation, its rotating rollers apply light, even pressure across each hide, helping to soften the material once again and smooth out even the smallest wrinkles. Before officially leaving the factory, each ostrich hide undergoes a final inspection, a process that combines modern technology with the keen eyes of skilled experts. Digital measuring devices are used to check the thickness, elasticity, color uniformity, and surface texture. However, with a unique material like ostrich leather, where every quill follicle and grain pattern is a visual highlight, human judgment remains irreplaceable. Specialists use handheld magnifying tools to carefully examine every small detail, ensuring that each grain line, quill mark, and shade meets the highest standards. Only the most flawless hides are approved for packaging and sent on to become luxury products such as handbags, wallets, premium footwear, or high-end automotive interiors. After leaving the tannery, premium ostrich leather is transported to high-end fashion workshops, where it begins a new life as some of the world's most luxurious products. Here, skilled artisans cut, stitch, shape, and assemble each piece by hand, under strict standards of craftsmanship and aesthetics. With its exceptional durability and signature quill dot texture, ostrich leather is the material of choice for crafting bespoke handbags, exclusive wallets, elegant dress shoes, and premium belts. From these ateliers, the finished designs make their way to the shelves of the world's top luxury fashion boutiques. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Our journey through fascinating lands and incredible factories is far from over, so get ready for what's coming next. Over the past few decades, the pigeon meat industry has not only survived but experienced explosive growth. China, a powerhouse of modern livestock farming, leads by a wide margin, raising over 700 million pigeons annually and accounting for nearly 80% of global production. But what's the real reason pigeon meat is in such high demand? Compared to chicken, pigeon meat not only contains more protein but also has lower cholesterol and is rich in vitamin B12, iron, and zinc, making it a superfood for boosting energy, enhancing immunity, and supporting blood regeneration. Even in countries like France, the United States, Egypt, and India, pigeon farming is practiced on a small scale, primarily serving high-end markets. Domesticated for over 5,000 years, pigeons became spies with wings during World War II, carrying vital messages through bomb blasts at incredible speed. Yet today, the irony is that they are often called rats with wings in many cities, due to their noise and droppings, which can cause up to $1 billion in damages each year from infrastructure corrosion and pollution. And perhaps because the cities have had enough of them, pigeons are now raised on farms, not for messages, but for meat. Despite some controversies on the sidelines, we will now focus on learning how millions of pigeons are raised in the largest licensed farms in China. First, we'll begin by selecting healthy breeding pairs of pigeons, the foundation of every successful farm. Pigeons are famously monogamous, staying with one partner for life. So when pairing them up, you need to keep a 1 male, 1 female ratio and ensure they are between 6 and 8 months old for peak productivity. If the balance strays from 1-1, harmony in the nest starts to crack. Next, the male pigeons are strong and robust, with broad chests, often cooing and strutting confidently with their tails proudly fanned out. Meanwhile, the females are smaller, calmer, and more reserved. Before mating, the males typically preen and feed the females as a gentle yet instinctive courtship ritual. The timing of mating is very important. Pigeons only engage in it early in the morning or late in the afternoon, times when the environment is quiet and undisturbed. Although each mating lasts only a few seconds, it happens multiple times to ensure successful fertilization. And from here, they officially enter the period of becoming father and mother. Unlike other livestock, mother pigeons have a gestation period of about 8 to 12 days before they start laying eggs. The eggs are small, oval-shaped, ivory-colored, and have relatively thin shells. Compared to chicken eggs, pigeon eggs are smaller, but more uniform and consistent in shape. Typically, each clutch contains only 2 eggs laid a day apart, with about 5 to 6 clutches during the breeding season. This is a unique biological trait of pigeons. Although they lay fewer eggs, their chick survival rate under natural incubation is impressively high, often reaching around 85 to 90%. But to ensure consistent quality and reduce stress on parent pigeons preparing for the next clutch, the eggs are not naturally incubated as in traditional farms, but are incubated using machines capable of handling large quantities of eggs at once. To carry out this stage, the eggs must be collected beforehand. Immediately after the mother pigeon lays the second egg, the farmer quickly and gently collects the eggs. The mother pigeon is very sensitive during this period, so to prevent her from noticing and to maintain a stable breeding cycle, fake eggs are prepared in advance and promptly placed in the nest as replacements. After being collected, pigeon eggs are gently wiped clean with a soft, dry cloth to remove dust without damaging their fragile shells. Next, each egg is regularly candled using a specialized light to monitor embryo development, ensuring that only eggs with viable embryos are selected. At this stage, it is very difficult to determine their sex, which is comparatively easier with chicken or quail eggs. The qualified eggs are then neatly placed into specialized trays and placed in incubators maintained at a stable temperature of around 37.5 degrees Celsius, creating ideal conditions for the embryos to develop evenly and healthily. If this egg handling and incubation process is not done correctly, it can lead to significant losses in the entire upcoming pigeon breeding season. And then, after about 17 to 18 days of incubation, the chicks usually make soft chirps or peeping sounds to announce their arrival and attract the attention of their mother or caregivers, just as the eggs begin to crack open, welcoming the tiny new lives into the world. When most of the eggs have hatched, workers carefully remove the chicks from the incubators and place them in warming chambers. This keeps their bodies warm, helps stabilize their breathing, and allows them to gradually adapt to the outside environment. About 12 to 24 hours after hatching, the chicks begin receiving a specialized, nutrient-rich diet. During their early days, each chick is fed 4 to 5 times a day, with each feeding consisting of approximately 2 to 3 milliliters. Just enough to stimulate the digestive system and support steady growth. Thanks to this, farms can standardize the entire process, shorten the rearing period, and optimize productivity, with thousands of chicks growing uniformly each day. After this stage, the chicks are gently returned to the loft to be raised under the care of the father pigeon. You heard that right. It's the father doing the parenting. Interestingly, pigeons also feed their young with pigeon milk, a trait usually seen only in mammals. In reality, this milk is a thick, nutritious white secretion produced in the crop of parent pigeons. Although this job is no easy task, thanks to their special instincts, these devoted dads manage it remarkably well. One detail you might overlook is the equipment used to raise baby pigeons, often called a brooder or holding rack, designed with breathable mesh frames to create a warm, safe, and comfortable environment that supports healthy chick development. When the chicks become stronger, small leg bands made of plastic or lightweight metal are placed on their legs. These bands carry identification numbers, symbols, or colors, helping farmers easily manage the flock, track information, distinguish age groups, and select breeding stock later on. Afterwards, the chicks are separated from their parents, and the pigeons are moved to a centralized rearing area where a specialized diet is applied to optimize growth rate and meat quality. As a result, the diet during this stage becomes significantly more nutrient-dense. The young pigeons are fed a specially formulated blend designed to support rapid development. This blend includes high-protein industrial pellets, which provide essential amino acids for muscle formation, combined with finely ground corn for energy, and roasted, finely crushed soybeans to add both additional protein and healthy fats. The pigeons are fed 2 to 3 times a day, with a total daily intake not exceeding 30 to 35 grams. At modern farms, feeding is carried out by automated systems. Drinking water is also adequately supplied through automatic nipple drinkers or cups installed along the cages, ensuring pigeons always have continuous access to clean water. Alongside a strictly controlled nutrition regimen, modern facilities are also invested in to create an optimal living environment for this hardy and active bird. Automated systems with manure collection troughs run along the bottom of the cages to gather and transport waste to a separate processing area on a regular schedule, typically every 1 to 2 days. Beyond maintaining clean facilities, disease prevention for the flock is taken to a proactive level through regular vaccination. This crucial measure helps prevent common infectious diseases such as Newcastle disease, avian influenza, and salmonellosis, protecting the overall health of the pigeon flock and ensuring sustainable, long-term farming success. The lifespan of a pigeon is typically around 10 to 15 years. But when raised for meat production, they only need to be kept for about 1.5 to 2 months. When pigeons are fully feathered, have a strong build, firm meat, and an average weight of 500 to 600 grams, this is the golden stage for producing high-quality commercial products, with meat that is neither too young and soft nor too old and tough. The catching process is usually carried out early in the morning to minimize the chances of the pigeons panicking, flying erratically, or getting injured during capture. Now, the harvesting process typically follows 2 main paths: collecting breeding pairs for sale, or harvesting pigeons for meat production. Those meeting the standards are placed into specialized plastic cages with ventilation slots and appropriately sized compartments to prevent collisions and minimize stress during transportation. Finally, the cages are loaded onto specialized trucks, equipped with cooling and ventilation systems. This ensures the pigeons remain stable, clean, and healthy, ready for the next journey to the processing plant, where every gram of meat is handled carefully to guarantee quality for consumers. Moving sequentially to the processing area, following strict food hygiene standards. Each bird is processed swiftly in under 30 seconds to ensure the natural freshness is preserved. After chilling with a specialized cooling system, the birds pass through a hot water feather removal machine that uses high-speed rotary technology to completely remove feathers without damaging the skin. On average, the plant can process 1,000 to 1,200 birds per hour, maintaining a stable supply for supermarkets, restaurants, and large distribution systems. Finally, the birds reach a modern packaging area using vacuum technology to extend freshness and limit bacterial contamination. Notably, some batches are seasoned to enhance the distinctive sweetness of the meat. And then, from those carefully packed trays of meat, the pigeon embarks on an exciting new chapter, becoming the key ingredient in a countless array of visually stunning dishes. Whether roasted to a golden crisp, with crunchy skin, or deep-fried to a fragrant, crispy perfection, each dish is sure to captivate diners and leave them wanting more. If you ever have the chance to visit China, you can enjoy this dish at local restaurants, where millions of messengers of peace are served each year, showcasing the country's rich culinary tradition and deep appreciation for this unique delicacy. If you're an animal lover, you might be a little shocked to hear that guinea pigs are eaten as food. But in South America, where guinea pigs are raised on a large scale, they're actually considered a traditional source of meat with high economic value. In Peru alone, a country that regards guinea pig as a national dish, up to 65 million are processed each year to serve both the domestic market and export demands, generating hundreds of millions of dollars for not just Peru, but the entire Andean region. Although this rodent belongs to the same family, Caviidae, as ordinary mice, its appearance is far more endearing. Soft, multicolored fur like velvet, a chubby body, tiny stubby legs, and a calm, gentle temperament. Unlike many of their rodent relatives, guinea pigs don't climb, don't jump, and have no tail at all. Remarkably, they also lack the ability to synthesize vitamin C, a rare genetic trait that makes their diet something that must be managed. In Brazil and Venezuela, it's not uncommon to see entire herds of capybaras invading crop fields, trampling the soil, stripping young plants bare, and leaving behind devastation that makes replanting nearly impossible. Still, capybaras are not considered a national-level agricultural threat like field rats. They reproduce more slowly and are often managed through legal hunting or controlled farming. In fact, in several South American countries, capybaras are seen as premium game meat, sometimes fetching higher prices than beef in certain regions. Their meat has a distinctive profile, flavorful, firm, rich in collagen, and is commonly prepared smoked, salted, and grilled or turned into sausages. At one point in history, the Roman Catholic Church even allowed capybara meat to be consumed in place of fish during Lent, arguing that since they live in water, they could be classified as aquatic creatures. Two rodents, one domesticated, one wild, have carved out a unique place in the culinary and cultural life of Latin America. Together, they are a vivid testament to how humans engage with nature, nurturing it, utilizing it, and respecting the wild diversity it offers. And every journey has a beginning. So right now, let's step inside the guinea pig farms, where it all begins, and discover how this charming little creature has become one of the world's most fascinating and talked about sources of food. To build a commercially viable guinea pig farm, breed selection is a critical first step, directly influencing reproductive efficiency and meat quality. Determining the sex of a guinea pig is the starting point, but it's not as simple as one might think. Both males and females share remarkably similar appearances, especially during their juvenile stage. However, upon close inspection, males tend to have slightly larger bodies, with a subtly raised lower abdomen due to developed genital glands. In adults, these glands become clearly visible as two small lumps near the anus, making them one of the most reliable indicators of sex. In contrast, females are generally smaller and lower to the ground, with flat bellies and a soft, rounded body shape. Resembling a walking, furry pillow. Beyond sex identification, farmers must select individuals that are healthy, active, and have smooth, evenly colored fur. Signs such as patchy hair loss, skin redness, scratches, or sluggish reflexes are considered red flags. A high-quality breeding guinea pig typically weighs between 600 and 800 grams, has a strong skeletal frame, no deformities, and displays quick, alert responses to sound or movement, key genetic indicators for a robust next generation. Once a healthy breeding stock has been selected with the proper male-to-female ratio, farmers begin the pairing process to allow natural mating among guinea pigs. Typically, one male is housed with 4 to 6 females in a quiet, spacious environment, completely free from the presence of other males. Guinea pigs can reproduce year-round with no fixed breeding season and are capable of mating as early as 3 to 4 months old. Once their reproductive instincts begin to emerge, mating is often quick and spontaneous, sometimes lasting only a few minutes, but may occur multiple times over several days if the animals are not separated. During this period, close observation is essential to ensure mating success and to prevent exhaustion or stress in the females. After mating has taken place, the female guinea pig is separated to allow for close monitoring throughout her pregnancy. The gestation period ranges from 59 to 72 days, unusually long for a rodent. However, this extended duration results in well-developed newborns. They are born fully furred, with open eyes, teeth, and the ability to walk immediately. A typical litter consists of 2 to 6 pups, though healthy mothers can sometimes give birth to as many as 8. Female guinea pigs are known to be devoted mothers, but they still require support in the form of a clean, dry, and completely quiet enclosure. Even minor noise or disturbance can cause stress, potentially disrupting the mother's ability to care for her young properly. When the young guinea pigs reach about 1 month of age, they are transferred from the initial nursery area to commercial grow-out pens, where they continue to be raised until they reach harvest weight. Depending on the scale and purpose of the operation, housing systems can vary significantly. In small-scale or family-run farms, guinea pig enclosures are often designed with a surprising level of care and creativity. These setups serve not only as shelter, but as miniature kingdoms for the animals. Farmers may construct multi-level cages resembling tiny castles, complete with climbing tubes, wooden ramps, multi-compartment food towers, automatic water dispensers, and even sand-bathing areas, creating a space that's both easy to manage and stimulating for natural behaviors and movement. In some regions, small-scale guinea pig farming has even evolved into a semi-hobbyist activity, blending commercial goals with entertainment and emotional attachment. This approach helps the animals grow in a low-stress, enriched environment, often leading to faster and healthier development. However, in large-scale commercial farms, aesthetic considerations are replaced by functionality and productivity. Enclosures are arranged in long rows, divided into clearly marked compartments, each holding about 10 to 15 animals, depending on their size and sex. The floors are typically lined with absorbent materials such as compressed sawdust, recycled paper, or smart plastic mesh that allows waste to fall into collection trays below, helping keep the space dry, odor-controlled, and reducing the risk of respiratory illness. At this stage, diet plays a decisive role in the growth rate and meat quality. Guinea pigs are strict herbivores, but their meals are far from just a handful of greens. They require a balanced diet of fiber, plant-based protein, vitamins, and minerals. High-quality hay, primarily alfalfa or timothy grass, is sourced from satellite grass farms, then sun-dried and stored in humidity-controlled warehouses. This hay is not only rich in fiber, but also has a natural aroma that makes it highly palatable and easy for guinea pigs to digest. In addition, they are given freshly cut grass from surrounding fields each day, along with vegetables and fruits such as carrots, cucumbers, pumpkins, apples, or tender corn leaves, both to stimulate appetite and boost nutrition. However, fruit portions are strictly controlled. As guinea pigs have a sweet tooth, too much natural sugar can quickly lead to obesity or diarrhea. To ensure consistent nutrition, farms also provide pellet feed made from ground grains, soybeans, and fortified with vitamin C, a nutrient guinea pigs cannot synthesize on their own and whose deficiency can cause swollen joints, watery eyes, or rough, brittle fur. Every day, farm workers monitor their feeding behavior and separate underperforming individuals for special care. It may sound simple, but in reality, feeding grass to hundreds of guinea pigs is a rigorous nutritional race between the keeper and the surprisingly finicky appetites of these small creatures. After about 3 to 4 months of consistent care and a precise diet, guinea pigs will reach their ideal slaughter weight, typically between 900 grams and 1.2 kilograms each. By this stage, their bodies are fully developed, with just the right layer of fat beneath the skin, firm meat, and sleek fur, meeting both visual and commercial quality standards. This is also the moment they are ready to enter a new chapter in their life cycle, when their meat will be harvested, processed, and transformed into the signature dishes of the Andes region. Once inside the processing plant, the guinea pigs are taken directly to the preparation area, where workers clean off all the fur by dipping the entire carcass to stabilize, ready for the next stages. This process helps preserve the natural flavor while extending shelf life without only in this species. But have you ever wondered why they do it? In fact, it is a form of body language. When angry or trying to assert dominance, they build up air and spit out a mixture of saliva and stomach fluids with a pungent odor, a warning to their opponent and a way to maintain order in the herd without resorting to fighting. Every year, the alpaca industry generates more than 300 million USD thanks to their fine, lightweight, and hypoallergenic fleece. Compared to cashmere or sheep's wool, alpaca fiber is warmer, more durable, available in up to 22 natural colors, and competitively priced, making it a favorite choice of luxury fashion houses such as Armani, Prada, and Loro Piana. And every journey has a beginning. Right now, let's return to where it all started, the alpaca farms of the Andes Highlands, where the magical journey of the alpaca truly begins. Unlike cattle, goats, or sheep, alpacas eat very little, surviving mainly on natural grass and hay. They don't require industrial feed, simply lay out clean grass, and they will calmly stroll over to graze at their own pace. Here's an interesting fact. The happiness of these gentle camelids is the golden key to producing top-quality fleece. That's why most alpacas are raised in semi-free-range systems or through pasture rotation across the vast highlands of the Andes. This method of grazing not only reduces feed costs, but also allows the herd to move freely, keeping them relaxed and ensuring optimal fleece quality. Moreover, when feeding on natural grasses, alpacas don't uproot the plants but only nibble on the tops. This helps protect the soil and maintain vegetation cover. Their unique 3-chambered stomach enables them to absorb nutrients with exceptional efficiency, extracting the maximum value from their modest diet. It is precisely this extraordinary ability, eating little yet staying strong, that makes alpacas an ideal choice for sustainable farming, where even a handful of grass can be transformed into some of the world's most precious fibers. However, producing premium fleece from happy alpacas requires more than just a healthy diet. Daily care is equally important. From regularly cleaning their pens, since each alpaca can relieve itself a dozen times a day, to carefully managing vaccinations and parasite control, every task is carried out with precision and with great respect for the herd. Breeding is also strictly managed through selective programs aimed at improving both the fineness and the natural color quality of the fleece. Thanks to this, alpacas today can produce more than 22 natural shades of fiber, making them one of the domestic animals with the most diverse color ranges in the world. When it comes to pregnancy, alpacas receive just as much attentive care. If you are familiar with how horses or cattle are looked after during gestation, you can be assured that alpacas are cared for to the same degree, including routine ultrasounds to ensure the fetus is developing healthily. After nearly a year of pregnancy, the mother alpaca usually gives birth to a single offspring while standing, and the delivery takes place smoothly, guided by the patient instincts of a devoted mother. The newborn, called a cria, typically weighs between 6 and 9 kilograms at birth. What is particularly remarkable is that, although wobbly at first, a cria can usually stand up and take its very first steps within less than an hour of being born. Over the next 2 to 3 years, this tiny being will grow into a fully mature alpaca, weighing between 55 and 80 kilograms. Ready to embark on a new chapter of life, its very first shearing. Before the process begins, alpacas are brought into a quiet, clean area to minimize stress. This preparation step is especially important because alpacas are highly sensitive animals. Even a slight fright or sudden movement during shearing can cause them to panic, resist, or fall into extreme stress. For this reason, to ensure the safety of both the animals and the handlers, alpacas are usually secured gently with soft ropes or placed on their side on a cushioned mat, a far more comfortable and humane approach than suspending sheep during shearing. However, don't mistake shearing as a burden for alpacas. If left unshorn, their fleece will grow thick and heavy, restricting movement, trapping heat, and silently threatening their health. Shearing leaves alpacas feeling lighter and more comfortable, free to frolic, breathe easily, and enjoy the cool summer breeze. Each alpaca can yield between 2 to 4 kilograms of fleece per shearing season, and among this, the fleece from the very first shearing, known as baby alpaca, is the most valuable, prized for its exceptional fineness and uniquely soft texture. This means that at every harvest season, thousands of tons of alpaca fiber are only halfway through their journey, from the remote highlands to modern mills, where they are cleaned, sorted, refined, and spun into premium yarns, ready to enter the world of luxury fashion. After harvesting, alpaca fleece is carefully packed into large sacks and transported to artisanal processing facilities. Here, a meticulous, entirely hand-operated process begins. Workers open each sack and spread the fleece out on wide tables for inspection. With keen eyes and seasoned hands, they sort the fibers according to natural color, length, softness, and cleanliness. This is no simple task. A single facility may receive hundreds of kilograms of fleece each day, and every tuft must be assessed individually with great care. The finest fibers, known as baby alpaca, are set aside with special attention, while coarser fibers are reserved for products such as blankets or rugs. The entire process is carried out without heavy machinery, preserving the natural structure and inherent value of the fibers. After being sorted, alpaca fibers continue their journey to the washing area, where the cleaning and preliminary carding process begins. Unlike sheep's wool, which contains natural lanolin, alpaca fiber does not, making the washing gentler, requiring no harsh chemicals or excessively hot water. This makes the process both eco-friendly and safe for sensitive skin. Here, the fibers are soaked in warm water at 45 to 55 degrees Celsius, mixed with biodegradable soap. While this temperature is not enough to boil an egg, it is just right to soften the fibers, allowing them to be untangled, freed of impurities, and aligned smoothly, ready for the next stage. After being thoroughly washed and combed, alpaca fibers are moved to the drying area. Here they are placed into specialized dryers, operating at a controlled temperature of around 60 degrees Celsius, the ideal level to remove moisture while preserving the softness and natural structure of the fibers. The drying process is gentle and even, ensuring that each strand maintains its elasticity and original quality. Once fully dried, the fibers enter a crucial stage of transformation, carding. During this stage, the fibers pass through a series of rotating drums covered with fine metal teeth, working like delicate combs. These rollers remove any remaining impurities and align the fibers in the same direction. The result is continuous, lightweight, and airy strands, known as mica. Depending on the machinery and fiber fineness, each carding machine can process between 15 and 30 kilograms of alpaca fleece per hour. Once formed, the mica strands are either rolled into large bundles for storage or sent directly to the spinning section. This bundled form not only preserves fiber quality, but also makes handling easier in the subsequent steps. Through this delicate, yet essential process, alpaca fleece gradually takes on a new form, becoming uniform, soft, and durable mica strands. From here, the entire process shifts to mechanization. The fibers are fed into industrial spinning machines, where they are carefully stretched and twisted to create fine, strong, and consistent yarns. Once completed, the yarns are automatically wound onto cones or bobbins, ready for weaving, continuing their journey toward becoming sustainable fashion products. After being carefully treated, alpaca fibers enter the dyeing stage at a gentle 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, using eco-friendly biological dyes that allow the colors to penetrate fully while keeping the fibers naturally soft. Once dried and wound onto cones, they reveal a vibrant palette, ranging from warm, earthy tones to vivid, luxurious shades, ready to be transformed into exquisite handicrafts or captivating modern fashion. In some factories, alpaca fibers are dyed while still in their raw form, a distinctive approach that brings notable efficiency. Instead of going straight into spinning, the fibers, once cleaned and prepared, are immersed in large dye baths at a gentle 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, using eco-friendly, biodegradable dyes. Afterward, they are carefully dried at moderate temperatures to remove all moisture while preserving their elasticity and natural structure. Once dry, the vibrantly colored fibers move on to the spinning stage, where they are stretched and twisted into fine, strong, and uniform yarns. These yarns are then wound onto cones or bobbins, ready for weaving, knitting, or embroidery. By dyeing the fibers early, manufacturers achieve yarns with consistent color throughout, reducing the need for later treatments, saving both time and costs, while producing sustainable, high-quality materials, perfect for exquisite handcrafted pieces or modern fashion. After the dyeing and drying process is complete, alpaca yarn, now soft, durable, and rich in color, is ready for weaving. At this stage, the dyed cones of yarn are placed onto high-precision industrial looms, where each thread is carefully interlaced to form wide, even fabrics with an elegant texture. Thanks to advanced automated technology, these looms can produce meters of fabric at impressive speeds while maintaining exceptional quality. The precise alignment of threads ensures a smooth surface free of knots or flaws, ideal for crafting premium fashion pieces. The final texture of the fabric depends on the type of yarn used. Finer yarns yield lightweight cloth, perfect for scarves or delicate garments, while thicker yarns create sturdy fabrics suitable for coats, ponchos, or warm blankets. This process not only preserves the natural softness of alpaca fibers, but also enhances their color, warmth, and luxurious feel. As a result, each meter of woven fabric becomes a perfect canvas for garments that blend the heritage of the Andes with contemporary design. From the humble fibers of the Andes highlands, alpaca has embarked on a journey of exquisite transformation, becoming fabrics that are soft, durable, and luxurious. Each creation carries not only the breath of nature, but also serves as a bridge between age-old traditions and contemporary style. According to data from the Arctic Council and FAO, there are currently around 5.3 million reindeer in the world, nearly double the number from 50 years ago. A clear testament to the enduring vitality of sustainable herding models maintained over centuries. From the rich taiga forests of the Duka people, the frozen steppes of the Nenets, to northern Europe where the Sami uphold the tradition of ear marking, all together form a unique nomadic ecosystem, where reindeer not only sustain human life, but also preserve culture and the spirit of the wild. Compared to other deer species, reindeer possess remarkable biological adaptations. Their hollow fur traps heat efficiently and even changes with the seasons. Their eyes adjust to low winter light for better vision, and their flexible hooves can contract or spread depending on the terrain, all of which make them a perfect survival machine in some of the harshest environments on Earth. With their fairy tale appearance, reindeer are best known as the sleigh-pulling companions of Saint Nicholas during the Christmas season, an image deeply embedded in global pop culture. Surprisingly, beyond their symbolic beauty, reindeer play a vital economic role for nomadic communities, with an estimated value of around $300 to $400 million per year. Their meat is high in protein, low in fat, and considered one of the cleanest red meats in the world, while their hide and milk are essential resources that help Arctic herders survive the biting cold. And as magical as the story may seem, every journey begins with the most fundamental instinct gifted by nature, the drive to reproduce. For reindeer, the extraordinary life at the edge of the world also begins with that very moment. From September to November each year, reindeer enter their mating season, also known as the rut. During this time, mature males become unusually aggressive. Their antlers, typically used for digging through snow to find food, now become weapons in fierce battles for mating rights. When the battle ends, the victor earns the right to mate, while the loser can only stand on the sidelines and watch. As a reward, the dominant male may gather a harem of 5 to 15 females, securing the next generation in the endless cycle of survival across the frozen wilderness. After the mating season ends, female reindeer begin a pregnancy that lasts over 7 months, with only one calving cycle per year. Remarkably, just 1 to 2 hours after birth, the newborn calf can stand, run alongside its mother, and quickly integrate into the herd. It is this strong herd instinct and social nature that give them an exceptional ability to survive, allowing them to adapt to the harsh subarctic environment and the ancient migratory journeys their species has followed for thousands of years. In certain special cases, young reindeer have their developing antlers removed to prevent abnormal growth that could injure the head or to reduce the risk of injury within the herd as they mature. This feature of reindeer herding in the far north is that it is primarily organized as semi-wild grazing. With their rare ability to navigate using the position of the sun, the Earth's magnetic field, and even the aurora borealis, reindeer herds roam freely across vast stretches of tundra and expansive taiga forests, migrating with the seasons in search of natural food sources. Reindeer can dig deep beneath thin layers of snow to find and graze on lichen, moss, grasses, and leaves, thanks to their sensitive noses, designed with thousands of tiny blood vessels inside that help them detect the scent of hidden forage beneath the snow. Today, climate change has made migrations more perilous than ever, forcing herders to intervene more often to guide the herds, sometimes across distances of 300 to 500 kilometers, toward the last patches of vegetation surviving beneath the ice. Another secret golden key to coping with these harsh conditions lies in providing supplemental feeding to maintain the overall condition of the reindeer herd and ensure their adaptability. At feeding time, with a deep understanding of the animal's natural behavior, these bundles are gently unwrapped, allowing the reindeer to approach and softly paw and sniff through them, mimicking their instinctive foraging movements as they search for lichen beneath the snow. In more modern areas, herders use mechanized feeders to distribute feed in long lines across the ground, ensuring even access and minimizing competition within the herd. This approach blends traditional methods with modern efficiency, supporting the sustainable development of today's semi-wild reindeer herding systems. Each year, as the ground begins to be blanketed with snow and the reindeer return to lower altitudes to escape the cold, typically around 7 to 8 months after calves are born in the spring, herders organize a large-scale roundup. To manage these vast herds spread across rugged subarctic landscapes, herders combine traditional skills with modern tools, including snowmobiles, trained herding dogs, and even helicopters. In regions like northern Scandinavia, helicopters are used to locate and guide widely dispersed reindeer, making the roundup faster and more efficient across terrain that would otherwise be nearly inaccessible. This is not just herding. It is a form of ancestral artistry, a living tradition passed down through generations by communities who have survived through a deep and sustainable relationship with the wild. Meanwhile, in regions with milder climates, such as Mongolia, parts of Central Asia, or the southern edges of Siberia, reindeer herding and management take on a slightly different form. Here, reindeer are not fully free-ranging like in Northern Europe, but are instead raised in closer proximity to humans under a semi-nomadic system. Herders, such as the Duka community in Mongolia, usually keep smaller herds of 20 to 100 animals, manageable by hand on a daily basis. During the day, the reindeer roam the forest in search of food, but by evening, they are brought back to camp and tethered near tents for easier monitoring and protection from predators or theft. In this semi-nomadic herding model, healthcare is carried out more regularly, with designated enclosures or temporary fenced areas set up in forested regions to facilitate handling, monitoring, and treatment. After bringing the herd back to camp, herders monitor the animals closely and isolate any individuals showing signs of illness for further inspection. Reindeer have strong wild instincts and often panic when approached or restrained for vaccination, so herders must handle them gently and with proper technique to ensure the process is safe and effective. To prevent outbreaks of pasteurellosis, lungworm, and other parasites, vaccinations are administered to reindeer on a regular schedule. Though given manually, these injections serve as a simple yet vital measure to protect herd health in semi-domesticated settings. By contrast, in cold climate countries like Norway, Finland, and Sweden, the sorting process is far more complex and large-scale, as herds can number in the thousands. Once the herd is rounded up into a centralized area, herders guide the reindeer into a series of concentric circular pens, divided into smaller sections for easier handling. Each reindeer is then sorted based on age, sex, health condition, or intended purpose, allowing for precise management of large, free-ranging herds. For reindeer calves around 4 to 6 months old, this is the ideal time for herders to perform ear marking, a traditional yet vital method of managing semi-wild herds. Each herder has a unique pattern, like a personal signature, that is cut directly into the edge of the ear in a specific shape. In some areas, instead of cutting, herders use plastic tags with numbers or color codes to make identification easier. These marks help determine ownership, track individual history, distinguish animals in shared grazing areas, and support collective herd management. Among the Sami people of Northern Europe, ear marking carries deep cultural significance, passed down from generation to generation as a symbol of family identity in the vast wilderness. After a long period of patient waiting by the herders, the reindeer will now be sorted for 3 main purposes: selecting the healthiest individuals for breeding, isolating those requiring treatment or health monitoring, and sending thousands of weaker or underperforming animals into the slaughter process for meat, hides, and antlers. Unlike the processing of other livestock, reindeer are highly sensitive to stress, especially during long-distance transport. For this reason, they are typically processed directly at centralized gathering points near the grazing areas first. The hide is separated and processed into premium leather products priced between $100 and $300, used to make boots, gloves, handbags, and traditional garments, bringing in tens of millions of dollars annually for the reindeer industry. And most importantly, the carcasses are collected and stored in cold conditions before being transported to specialized processing facilities for further refinement. At the factory, reindeer meat is carefully received and inspected according to strict food safety standards. The hide is removed to reveal the carcass, which is then butchered by workers into specific cuts such as loin, leg, ribs, neck, and internal organs. Compared to beef, reindeer meat is darker red in color, high in protein, low in fat, and virtually free of cholesterol. It's a highly valued food across Northern Europe, often referred to as clean meat, free from industrial farming, growth hormones, and rich in the unique flavors of the wild. No matter how many winters pass, reindeer remain a powerful symbol, linking humans to the frozen lands they call home, and ensuring the nomadic culture of the far north endures and thrives. The entire farm operates under a closed-loop system, allowing farmers to tightly control environmental factors such as temperature, humidity, lighting, and air quality. From the outside, the rabbit housing is arranged in neat, well-ventilated rows, clean and organized like a modern factory. Inside, instead of group housing, like in traditional methods, each rabbit is kept in an individual cage made of stainless steel or antibacterial plastic, durable and easy to clean. After each production cycle, all cages are cleaned using high-pressure water jets or flame sterilization to eliminate waste, loose fur, and potential pathogens. Along each row, automatic feeders and water dispensers are installed in front of every cage, allowing rabbits to eat and drink without competition or stress. Their diet typically includes nutrient-rich pellets combined with fresh greens, carrots, sweet potatoes, and apples, promoting both fast growth and healthy digestion. Rabbits have a highly sensitive digestive system, requiring a high-fiber intake to maintain stable gut function. After around 75 to 90 days of farming, once rabbits reach their ideal weight of 2 to 2.5 kilograms, they are ready to be harvested and sent to the processing plant. Rabbits have one of the shortest grow-out cycles among meat-producing animals, allowing for rapid turnover and efficient space usage. Unlike animals like skunks, which require anesthesia, odor control, and pose a risk of biting, rabbits are gentle, calm, and easy to handle. Workers can simply pick them up by hand or using soft gloves, minimizing stress before slaughter to preserve meat quality. And now let's move on to the part we're most curious about. How are rabbits processed? Once delivered to the plant, rabbits enter a modern slaughter and processing line. They are hung upside down by their hind legs to keep them still, then stunned to prevent pain and reduce muscle spasms, ensuring consistent meat texture. Next, they move to the deherring machine, which removes the outer fur layer without damaging the skin or flesh underneath. A small cut around the leg or neck, followed by a firm pull, can peel the skin off almost as easily as removing a banana peel. After skinning, internal organs are removed and the carcass is thoroughly cleaned. Finally, the body is divided into cuts like hind legs, loin, and neck, then vacuum sealed to maintain freshness and hygiene before reaching consumers. Are you curious how those cute, gentle rabbits end up being processed into food by humans? Rabbit meat is often grilled to preserve its natural sweetness and tenderness. It's typically marinated with garlic, pepper, olive oil, and herbs like rosemary or thyme, then cooked over charcoal or in an oven. When done, the outer layer turns golden and crispy, while the inside remains juicy and tender. The flavor of rabbit is often described as somewhere between chicken and pork, light yet flavorful, without being overly fatty. This dish is especially popular in Europe, commonly served during spring feasts or traditional festivals.